You heard the desk say it. It is the final match of play-ins coming in here. Qualification and elimination on the line for two teams, Evil Geniuses and KRU, who have been searching for an identity throughout 2026. And here, they have a chance to really solidify that and prove it as they catapult themselves into playoffs.
One of those teams being KRU, going through the same storyline, right? Having a very weak stage, going to the play-ins, but then starting to own in the play-ins and have found their identity. But this time around, can KRU actually go on a run without Kesnet, right? Remember, they always made champs until last year. They missed it, and then Kesnet went on over to play with Envy. Now, hopefully, with this new roster for KRU in 2026, can they go, take over EG and try to make it at least to the playoffs, as Lotus starts off with 5 players of EG looking to fight here on the A side.
They do get to decide where that spike goes, and it looks like they were all start to funnel in for this fight. Quite a bit of damage already. It's just spammed onto Digizine here, and he's the entry. They haven't even really started the fight yet, and they're losing members as Superman goes down. KRU wants to get active off of this here. They're trying to operate on different sides of this play, and EG has gained a little bit of control off of losing one member.
The big thing right here is that we just broke this turret for EG onto the B side, so that's going to keep heat all the way towards this B side. Gives an advantage now for Val to go for a late lurk. It's up to the 3 players on EG to just play off each other for these trades.
In pretty good positions, taking the high ground here so they could fight back into the site. And there's one from Zerona. He's going to keep hiding on this. No, gets together with Digizine towards the back so they can start to anchor each other. They finally see Les coming around, and they're distracting KRU so much from even getting into the site and doing such a good job. Les finally takes down Bao, but he's got so much to do in front of him as he starts to head to the site. Has to break through the wall maybe twice if the gas is still up, and this looks all impossible.
Yeah, I mean, it's already ticking on that spike. He's just looking to pat some stats, get some orbs up as well, looking for the exit against Pancakes.
Maybe one, maybe another. Malart orb, and goes down to make sure no one gets one off him. So good kills from Les, being that lurk around. It's something EG will look for and are very happy to get the pistol round.
And I like this start from EG in this pistol round, because that, when we looked at this composition against EG in that week 5, we said, okay, this is actually a great comp for them to play very slow around the map on the attack side, to bait out utility, to try to waste utility too, because you can throw cages and smoke, and use different agents to lurk around here for EG. So I like this time that Bao was super active, breaking that trademark in the front of the B side, using his cage to just keep less behind and just waste that clock down. I want to see more of that, more assertion from EG to keep KRU here pretty much planted in their positions on defense and not allow for them to fast rotate to help on the defense. That said, it's looking to just be a quick little contact play for Heat, so as he TPs, a trap play will come out for the side of KRU. So EG, they just want to wait this down. Again, because they have a camera on the A site, they have lurks, they're just waiting it out, really, to spot where Heat could be at.
Nice avoidance by Heat and the rest of KRU. Their protocol stands. As Heat stays inside that rendezvous, I think they stay here to see if they can get an initial kill. The door opens across the map on that mini-map, and it actually looks like it will start a bit of the movement. Heat goes to see if his footsteps trigger anything from EG, and they're still trying to get this set up. They do not want to leave mound position, and looks like EG will finally start to funnel in. And they're being very cautious about this.
It worked out. I mean, Bao's tapping the door on one side. It weakens out C. Now you play contact on mound. You notice the stack is there. Bao's already inserted on top of the staircase, so it's easy for EG to rotate for the A plant.
All the info, all the time in the world for Evil Geniuses. They just need to turn around in time to make sure they don't get swarmed here unless KRU just go for the spike death.
May very well be the case, but with the camera, it looks like Bao just spotted a lot of those players outside that A main line. So will somebody start moving down and go on a hunt? It is a pretty expensive buy that EG has brought, though, within the anti-eco. So I don't think anybody's going to be chasing here. They'll probably flip it out and try to save their weapons back towards defender spawn.
Oh. Gonna dive in. Where the kills come from. EG starts to rack them up one after the other, and it's only going to be Sadak messing with the door and seeing if he can't get a smoke kill. He's going to go down to the spike. Another nice round from EG. playing information on the map and taking no chances to start against KRU here.
I want to take a moment to talk about the Digizine on the Raze as well. The Des mentioned, and even less mentioned, the respect that is given to Digizine as a Neon, but he's coming out here with the Raze. And I still think that this works quite well for Evil Geniuses for this specific matchup against KRU. Because for KRU, they're playing a Viper and a Chamber. When it comes down to stall util onto that C site, there's not too much. So EG could start defaulting a lot on this side. And when you want to try exploding on the site, you could do the Omen Bully Smoke and Satchel in, and nothing's really going to stop you from no Razor Vines. Maybe there's just a Snake Bite. So using this util to spot where Heat is going to be at, force him to TP, gives the space for them to take, and he can start exploding here, just like this.
Ooh. Well, they found the heat map on that one, and it is bright red over towards Mound. He gets out safely with a TP. And now EG, much like Pistol Round, have to work the 4v5, but they are not as close to the site this time.
After losing Digizine too, I mean, taking that pressure at the beginning was just trying to, again, push Heat back and grab an orb. And then you could reset, you could pop it to the C side as you have your bonus round, but lots of Guardians that they have across for EG. It'll be once again a slow play to maybe go for some snipe shots with these Guardians. Two players walking in slowly.
Puts a lot of pressure on these two, especially to get Zerona over here without having that Digizine entry. And they still leave Bao around to listen for the lurks. Nice job encroaching in. Full contact play here coming from both teams. And KRU takes advantage there with Heat pushing in for another kill. Bao. The timing is almost there. He gets slid on in the double peek. KRU reads in the mind of Bao on that here. Superman forced to push forward. And it looks like KRU will shut down that bonus round very nicely in a flawless way.
The wall contact was nice for EG to move into the C site. But just unfortunately here, as they're spamming from the waterfall, KRU that is, to deny that plant, he just finds his timing to walk forward, catches two players off guard. Nobody protects Pancakes as he's trying to get that spike down right over here. You have to comment actually on how effective these slide tackles have been for Dante for the last couple of weeks.
Taking on a little bit more of that kind of jump out and wiggle around sometimes too. Getting into that we see from Mata and other Neons. He's starting to hit a bit of a groove there after a decently tough stage for him.
For this round number 4, you even out the playing field. Because for EG and the anti-eco or whatnot, they haven't taken any orb control in their defaulting. So nobody's really close to like big ults to really explode, so it's back into like these protocols of playing off each other and making sure that they're trading to farm up the pips for somebody like Digizine on the attack side. Good read at least to start for Heat. He's starting off here on the A side. He'll be the first contact to try to fight into the control and maintain the A line.
He's been big to get that first blood already. MW Zera is able to get a spray through 2 with that Phantom. Very deadly. And now EG don't even have that wall to move safely. Trying to make some 1v1 fights happen here. Little mini fights. Dante's going to win that. Feeling good already here after that bonus round win. And it's just up to the last 2 members to see what kind of damage they can do here, as KRU does not look to be leaving any gaps in who and how they trade right now. Buying all the time in the world.
30 seconds left.
They're kind of pinned right now for EG. So for KRU, they could try to push it down, try to get the orbs up, try to make it very expensive for EG, forcing them on a save in the next round. So EG, they just want to hold this line, try to answer back against KRU, and make them rebuy in the next round. Unfortunately, cleaner shots coming out for KRU. And they'll tie up this game 2-2 so far. I think it was a little bit of a micro mistake for Evil Geniuses there. As they walk content out towards Rubble, they got spotted here by Heat right by the break room. But there was no Viper wall up. Oh, after that one, yes. And then, okay, maybe there was a wall up. It gets 2 kills in a smoke like that is just unlucky for EG. And that's why there was no smoke also being thrown by Superman yet here on the top of the staircase, because they just trusted their Viper wall. But you find that timing, you'll take it. For the side of NW0, counting the lucky stars for KRU, and that now puts EG into a much lower buy. A mishmash, 2 Spectres, and once again, it's to prep up for the next round. orb control, get Digizine one up. He'll have the showstopper in round number 6.
Fast. First pressure round for EG, and KRU are responding very well to start. Dante wants to get the dance on, but he's quickly sat down on the floor. Unless he almost wants out of the site right now.
You just went French on me, danser.
Oh, he's going to go back into the site, though, as he looks for another partner. And now he needs to just wait it out. Just on the other side is MW Zera, less trying to play ahead of that clock that EG thinks they have to play with. Oh, the double peak is really nice for EG to reset here.
That's beautiful. The protocols for Bao and Superben to be assertive on a 3-2-1 swing, and then just making MW0 hesitate a bit, forced to peek. But it's just Bao and Superman holding down towards this mound. If MW0 keeps walking out here, he'll be in for a surprise.
30 seconds left.
He's actually thinking that EG is going to re-hit towards that C side, so he plays the off angle first.
MW0 winning this round means he gets ult out of these 2 kills, snowballs more rounds for the team, so this could mean so much more if he pulls this off here to combine with Dante in the upcoming. Just a few seconds, and EG 3 for Superman as he's able to lock that one down.
And a huge 3-3 round 2 for EG. And it was simple, right? You saw how you pushed Heat back down towards that back of that C site. Then they just encroached in with the Sheriffs, the Stingers, making sure that they're death balling towards that C site so they could trade. Very nicely done. I have to commend, though, MW0 on that 1 versus 2. He had a couple of opportunities. That C's was perfect, too, to isolate one fight. That was all the way where he couldn't trade out against Superman yet, but Superman a little bit cleaner on the aim today. And they're going back to what they did a lot here against Energy. Always TPing across rubble for Superman, trying to see if there's any pressure moving in towards that side. But if you think about what EG's playing against, there's no C's Nate coming on that side, so it's easier for them to take that space with the Viper Wall up.
Pretty textbook entry. They won't find too much defense to start off, but no, it's there from the util. And yeah, KRU also backs up hearing the showstopper. Uh-oh, MW Zera hatching that nade under his feet, and they're not even going to think he's there. Plays inside their head. Nightfall comes out. He does finally get that ultimate, and Sadok's able to play the elevation game as they just tear EG apart. Scrambling to find an angle. EG falls left and right, and they're swatted out of A site as KRU picks up another round with the defuse.
A little bit too quick here to pull that trigger of the showstopper for Digizine. As BB heard a footstep, he thought that he would get somebody inside of that smoke instead of holding on to that rocket to see if he could continue on to a frag. So you lose that space into drop. That could have been the rocket to save and protect that area for the pulse spot denial. But the comms weren't there. They get caught off here by MW0. Allows here for KRU to have a nice little clean retake in instantly here. After you type the game 2-2 and you go back and forth, and the econ's not the best now for EG, and you feel like you're losing grasp of the attack side, you call the timeout for Potter here.
We wonder what EG would have planned coming in for Lotus. It's been a bit since they played it in the beginning of August there versus Energy, and that was not a game that went in their favor. So there's definitely a plan. Potter always has a plan. EG comes up with it. So see if we can get that in full force here coming out of the timeout.
Yeah, actually, if you're looking at some of the stats when it comes down to conversions for EG after timeouts for Coach Potter this stage, I think she's only lost 1 so far. I don't know if it really comes down to when you have a lower buy to get conversions, but I think in gun rounds is where it's important for EG, so we'll have to pay attention to that in round number 7 and 8 to see if it converts into a W. But now you see the scoreline. A loss for EG the last time these two teams faced against each other, but this was also a matchup where Zorono and Pancakes just joined the roster. Yeah. Pancakes was basically a month new in IGLing, picking up that mantle from Mitch when Mitch left EG Academy to join Energy as an assistant coach. So now since then, though, lots of experience was gained. The synergies built up week after week, and KRU knows that this is going to be a very important and difficult matchup, no matter what, to play against EG today.
Back towards the A strikes. Like EG feels comfortable starting here to see what they find from KRU, and it hasn't been heat on the A side. He continues to head towards Mound, and they avoid his scope again. His trademark is still over here, though.
The sprays are nice, though, from MWZera through these smokes. Look at the Jazine already at 56 HP, but they are trying to leverage, EG that is, a hero rifle on his back. The Star Duelists try to come in for the hit.
Just right as the wall drops, they meet Sadak and squad next to stairs. And you don't play on the stairs. That's not how you do it. MWZera also cleans one up as it is EG now pinned on the other side of A site, looking for a way out. Or just a way in with the spike.
Exactly. Try to get some money in, add a little bit more for EG if you can. That's the best scenario here, because both Pancakes and Superman already have their ults moving into the next round. But so far, in terms of EG trying to enter into site or creep up, man, are they getting spammed and spammed through these walls, their own walls and smokes.
It's that timing. MWZera sees the wall go up, and they must be walking through that hot line. As soon as the wall goes up, he spams, "Why are you there? Wait a second. Do it different." Break that timing, because you are being affected by it a lot. Another one. Big retakes here for KRU on these rounds.
Yeah, but remember, this was a half buy that you had for EG. Hero rifle for Digizine. He could still buy rifle this round here. And coming out of the timeout, it seems as though they want to up the tempo for EG. They start off as a 1-3-1 to start, but looks like a recall back from Pancakes to slows things down for a bit and see where maybe the op could start. Let's see how EG operates now after this timeout from Potter.
Just go ahead. It's just chamber. I'm gonna push this guy.
Okay, hold
just
on.
going right now.
I'm smoking off front B.
Wide. 2. Chamber here, Jay. Care top 10s. Can you jiggle it for us?
Yeah, 1 second. One breakable right now. One opening door.
Wait.
Nothing top 10s. Nothing top 10s.
Omen re one way C. It's gonna be up A.
Hurt. I will smoke.
Pan up. Hannah's dropping K boys.
Let me smoke somewhere. Stay stuck.
Yeah, I'm opening door again.
Doggy door for you, Jay.
Walking through.
Hold door up.
It's one more combo site.
Yes, I'm down.
One backside.
Come on.
Wait.
Outing right now.
Open door.
There's one on site. Fade on site. Front site.
Right here on me.
Backside, boys.
Aye,
Go.
Wait.
He's having some shit.
Heaven one.
Maybe heaven.
Hold
Yo,
on.
watch your stairs, boys. Stairs is
Yeah,
gap.
care stairs.
I have it up.
Care stairs.
Okay, yo, Omen was spawn.
No one has stairs right now.
Chamber unknown. Omen spawn, chamber unknown. Through the heaven smoke. Dink.
Low HP 110. 100.
Doug, you want up?
No.
Superman is the nightmare to the nightfall on that round. Incredible gusto from EG to just keep going forward knowing they had KRU on the run.
That was a call to Wombo Combo, making sure that you could maybe deafen some players, get behind enemy lines, and get that pick. There was a wrong call at the beginning, though, when Val said it's a one-way smoke on C, the op is on A.
Yeah.
But thankfully, because you still had the big Nightfall, it's still going to disrupt the site over on A, and you're still going to be assertive for AG to move towards the A site. And again, what I like, that last battle for Bao inside B to fight the 1v1 against Heat. We didn't see too many of those lurks on Lotus against Energy, and I feel that was a talk in a preparation between Coach Potter and also Coach Faded, to make sure that Bao is going to be a little bit more active here in these forced rotates.
Dante getting active to start here. Round 9 as we are all tied up at this point. And it just keeps going round for round. It seems like they move back towards A. It's where the comfort comes from in the site they've hit the most. EG continue to focus their forces here.
Interesting, too, that this round, Les has the pit to work with, but he's not trying to close up that site. I think usually you want to put a trademark in there, just how you place a vice wall inside of that pit, but it was placed in front of the B site at the beginning. As the conditioning here that, or the setup at least for KRU, just to try to get the early information. It worked out, got the first kill there onto EG. We're now trying to lean more towards the A site.
Such a forward position again. Gets a hit there. Quite a bit of damage coming through. Zerona to finish off that operator. But Sadak is still more than ready in the back of the site, and KRU have already rotated quite a few forces over here. This middle fight, if it comes to fruition, is going to be very big between Les and EG.
Bao has cage, has trip, not really using it. Finally gets it up on time.
That was close.
Allows the plant to come down, but
They see Les. They have to take it together. Pancake's pushing forward. He doesn't have any HP, but he goes for the gun, and they're going to hear that pickup. Possible slide, but almost a play too. It could have gone either way, and MWZera is fast on the trigger. This becomes so difficult for Bao. Smoked off all alone and feeling the pressure here in the front of B main. MW0 still locked in with the Odin, and KRU is going to make another successful retake.
Much more difficult here for EG to convert a 2 versus 4. Respect the play that we have moving forward from Pancakes, but again, a nice little pick to deny that pressure in the front of that B site was Dante. EG just trying to get that trip broken up. And it's interesting, again, because it gets down to what I was mentioning in that matchup against NRG and going into this matchup here. You could Cyber Cage, you could Omen Smoke, you could try to find ways to really disrupt and force KRU to use util early in the round without face-checking yourself to break the turret and break that util. If it calms down for a bit, maybe you could be able to start jiggle peeking into those moments, but we'll hold that thought. EG will have to rethink now for the round as another hero rifle arm. Bao, Bulldog on Digizine, pressure onto Les, and he falls from the bandit of Superman.
Very quick util. And the one time they move Heat away from this position, who would have been very safe against this, and EG pounce into sight. It looks like KRU is just on the other side, though. Dante seems like he's reined in for a moment here as KRU set up the retake.
Yeah, Prowler missed, so that allows for EG to move in, and you see the double push forward from EG.
So big. Zerona's got that timing. He's ready to bandit, but KRU, he is ready with the operator.
They won't expect a second one. So right now, oh no, the wallbang on Pancakes. Good trade back, but right now it allows for KRU to flood into C.
This is going to be tough. There's a weapon difference here as well. And Bao is taking the long way around because he can call the team back and play cutoff here in spawn of KRU's side.
KRU's going to expect it 100%.
He tries to push up. He thought so too, and Bao looked to take the forward position, and now that's going to be taken up by Superman. They split one more time and create the forced 1v1s. Now up to Digizine as he starts to play a little bit of the audio cues, hopefully in his favor. He is met with the Odin and drops MW0 where he stands.
Trip is there. That's going to slow him down if it doesn't break it. Thankfully, he makes it into the site, but you see now KRU grouped together. Forced to use his nade to clear some space, so not too much in the pulse plant, but his aim. But it's still Digizine.
20 HP with a Bulldog versus Dante and Heat. He's got the timing. Playing roundabout right now. And he knows the first one's fake, but he's still going to try to get this 1v1 angle as Heat staring him down. And Digizine gets taken out. KRU another retake as they defuse the spike. Wait on that one. Pick up a weapon, get your op back, and get the defuse.
I like this, how quick we were to pressure onto the C site for EG, but it was an overcook for the two players flanking in the back of Waterfall. It just feels like after the first, Arona falls, and Bao thinks he could get a full timing by cutting the rotations, but still forces his hand to walk right into the rotates with Biat. So you're kind of already have like a idea and inkling that somebody is going to be cutting these rotates somewhere, so why would you face check into the corner too? So that just didn't allow for EG to go for the full rotate to plat towards the A site, and you saw how the rest of the round kind of fell apart. Thankfully though, again, it was a half buy for EG. So Odin back in the hands of Pancakes. Odin for NW0 as well, holding on the A line. But the idea is to push Heat away. Camera's trying to spot him, but he stays behind that box. So right now, this is good for KRU. They have good info that the hit's coming on B site.
I like it. Push all the way through for EG here. Pit down. They're going to have to wait. What a spot from Bao here. Gets a little razzled, but he shows the dazzle on that one. Gets another kill under the circumstances. Okay, MW0 just mowing the lawn over there. Able to take down Bao as he sweeps the entire lobby area. And now it's the 3v4 as KRU still have to make this retake happen, and they are all across the map here. Omnipresent might help them out. Digizine drops one, and it seems to be just going to the wayside now as EG set up strong on B.
Just surprised that Superman gave his back here onto Heat. Should still be a free kill. I mean, that's twice. He's still going to get a free kill.
Wait, there's one. Okay. Had to be someone, right?
And I'm just questioning that because Bao threw his hat. They have the ping of where the players are remaining. So you have to check those angles. But thankfully, at the end of the day, it's still a clean hit for EG, utilizing another wombo combo. Showstopper into the B site, Pit to cover up the area in the post plant, and a hero play from Bao right there. Fully stunned, gets the hat out to guarantee the round for EG.
Behind me, bro. Dante Dookie with your hands out. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Jesus. He removed Diaz, but he's not going to add that second word.
Yeah. All right. Op still there for Heat. Looks like they actually put Spike down this time. First time KRU starts to move forward very fast. And take a more aggressive position to start the round.
It's a change from both teams, because now EG throws the forward smoke right in front of the mound, but because of Dante's position right in that corner, they're already going to know that EG has moved away from the C-line.
That was the paranoia from Sadak, thinking they might have gotten hit right away. It makes Les very aware of what's happening front side B here. Is that left side of the map is just being tempted C-side with a lot of util, but no play just yet. Dante, a quick surprise kill on Superman. Again, just checking, walking out without having that coverage that they know no one is there. Dante and team get out safely for this.
I would like to see Pancakes fall back. We'll hold that thought for a bit. A peek here with the Dodo Fell says he just spotted Pancakes.
Les with a nasty kill down in spawn there. You saw through B, and another one is he's just running cross map right now. There's the other body that Pancakes just looked at as they try to make it towards C, but someone's already there. As Sadak is just reading Evil Geniuses.
One enemy remaining.
Nobody's checking corners at this point. This should be an easy round for KRU, especially on a 5 versus 1. I would have loved to see Pancakes fall back towards that C line because he had the insert of Superman right at that switch. If the Prowler and it finds information, he has perfect opportunities to throw Paranoia. They flood into the mound and go for that pick and say he walks out like this and just gets crossfired, tripped off. And KRU have a strong lead moving into the second half.
We will have to see what happens as we get into that second half. But first, Dryad is standing by with Loud, Darker, and Tikazine.
That's right, I'm here with some special guests from Loud. We have Darker and TK Zin. You guys are enjoying the game, watching. We have a draw show coming up after this game. But TK Zin, you're part of Loud, but you're also still technically part of KRU Academy. How are you guys seeing? How are you seeing the team?
They are improving a lot, and I feel like they will win this match because they are playing good, and that's it. Yeah.
What about you, Darker? Any analysis on what's going on?
Yo la verdad estoy apoyando a EG, a DGCin. Yo quiero mucho que gane EG. Siento que es un equipo más completo.
To be honest, I'm just supporting EG. I'm supporting DGCin. I just think it's a more complete team. So we have divided opinions here. Any prediction on how this is going to be? Is this a 2-1?
Yeah, 2-1 for KRU.
Is it 2-1 or is EG going to close it in 2?
2-1 EG.
Well, my last question for you. With the draw show coming up, any wishes?
I want to play against Furia. Yeah.
You want to play against Furia? What about you? It seems like this team is not agreeing. What about you, Darker?
Yeah, one might be I.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen, and also we'll see how this is going to close out. I think these guys get along very well. Back to you guys.
I guess I just want to fight Brazilian organizations no matter what. At least they can agree on that, right? So nice to see that both players here over at Loud for Tikazine and Darker are still cheering for the Brazilian players across these two teams, right? So you're looking at Les, MW0, and Heat on the side of KRU, and then for EG, it is also for Tikazine. It is a super important stage for EG to make it there. The home buff is actually going to help them potentially make it the champs if they could surpass KRU here. But speaking of Digizine, or listen to Digizine's interviews, he's like, I want way more than that. So it's not just trying to make it top 4 for EG. He wants to taste the champion stage. As now on the second half, EG on defense. KRU starting off with some pressure on the C mound. Double smokes as well, just to keep both teams kind of at bay on the map control. So stalling things for a bit in the mid-round.
Much more passive defense from EG as well than what KRU is showing. So the rest of the team get all of this space. You can start to move up. They play that door game. See how much util they can get out of it. destroys the camera, draws a few more eyes from Evil Geniuses. Now you still have to worry about what Crew's doing on that C side of the map, though. If they find anything, expect a big switch since the spike is in a lean position either side. Just tempting fate. Digizine takes quite a bit of damage on that one without being able to trade back. And that's enough. We smell blood, says Crew, and they start to head right towards A.
Pancake's already used most of his util as well to try to stall and get info here towards the rubble, but it only gets one, right? The Prowler only speaks to one player, but at least we have a trade and now confirmation that Crew are moving into the A site.
Yeah, and it looks like EG is trying to anchor a little bit back out and play safety because of those first few kills. Decent util to try to drop back in here. Spike gets planted down, and you still have Less walking about, activating that lurk on one of his favorite maps. And he'll do it again. No, he picks up the hat trick already, looking for the ace. Oh, as it gets tagged away, he will get 4, though. And that pistol round coming in for Less and Crew is huge.
You know that playing a Viper on this map, he's always going to be dangerous.
Insane.
Look at even Crew in terms of the identity of Less in the last 2 matches for play-ins. Outside of Lotus, they're putting him more onto the Omen role. But now he's going back into the tried and true, what he's comfortable with, where we always know the A side of Lotus is his playground, and that's the reason why.
And this is where he loves to play. When he doesn't have the double duelist rushing into his face, he can be back to his lurky self.
Doesn't have to play with the team, right?
Doesn't have to play with the team.
And he gets a 4-piece out of that.
Crazy 1v1 potential out of him. Oh, he avoids that family photo from EG. Incredible. Quick reaction time by him, and he's going to even go out for more. Oh, another one. Almost gets a quick scope to that as Digizine finalizes 2 beautiful Sheriff kills of his own. And they'll keep this fight going. He's the same spot 2 rounds in a row, and it pays off for a few to get his ult points online, which is a big thing for EG here as they have to pick up rounds in these upcoming ones.
Good news, though, is that you have this rotate out from Superman that will be able to upgrade into a weapon. Second way, though, is are we going to try to pick something up for Bao so they can try to go for exits or damage if they can. Sheriffs that you have.
Oh, gets in range and 2 for Dante right away. Actual lineup after everything there. And he is having such a better game, too. It's got to bring the confidence up for him. I know a lot of the times it was tough for him to feel like he was having a good game or the impact he was having was being felt, but the intangibles were there, and now we're seeing everything come together.
Yeah, and the fact that you also have so much util in the post plant on the side of Crew. Why? Because he had Heat that just utilized his gun to create some space, and then a slide from Dante, which then means going into the post plant, NW0 still had a full kit, Sadak still has a paranoia. So EG, with Digizine, when it comes down to defense, they have to make sure that they're able to waste out a little bit of that util back from Crew, where they're looking for the pressure fights here on that A rubble, or anywhere as a matter of fact. So that's why EG are fast rotating from the A line back into B, thinking that Crew are going to reactivate to try to bait some util out towards B.
And Spike's down for a fight round. See what they can grab, any angles, any line of sight. And like you said, that util, just drain it out of EG to make the sight hit easier. But they got to be ready. A bit of a contact plus crossfire by Evil Geniuses set up on rubble. Could be explosive. His pancakes. What? Less with a shot to just drop the Odin, and that's going to fizzle out Superman's position right away. Digizine's now forced to come over from break room, and he's just going to be smoked off actually as Zerona puts that wall up so they can safely get back to position. But Crew's not done yet, Vans. They're still moving around the map.
Just baiting left and right, going back into C. I mean, the trips are not going to do too much at this point.
No.
Bao could be in a position where he could still spray from Waterfall. There's not forward pressure out from Crew behind the Prowler. He's going to try to move forward, potentially to start spraying. Unfortunately, he sprays the wrong spots as you see it ricochet off on the left side of NW0. So Crew in a strong position now in the post plant.
Huddled together. Don't have to deal with any nades getting dropped on them, so they're positioning back here. So good. And EG doesn't even really have a chance to get crossfires on each other as they wait for everything to come in. They have to clear the smoke. They have to push forward. And that means their hand is forced here. It's going to feel uncomfortable. Sadak already starts off. A close shot means MW Zera has the angle. And now it's up to Bao. Spike's going to be too late. Yeah, just doing the damage he can. And Les is going to be the one to finish that off. 21-6 and KRU scoreline of 10-5. They are in the flow state.
Yeah, everybody's shooting so far for KRU, but also, like I said, when it comes down to Lady Luck, oh, you just trace, fall out the bullet tracing from the Odin, and instantly Pancakes gets punished out of that. I was just about to mention the amount of times that we've seen such good map spacing and taken by KRU side by getting kills through smokes. Either it's on defense or attack. It's just one of those, I think it happened like, what, for 3 rounds, and those 3 rounds happened to be a round converted for KRU as well. So, unfortunate for EG. But you now need to bring a little bit of that morale up here for the EG team. You're starting to see that struggle out for Pancakes as well, currently 1-12. So the last time out being called by Coach Potter this time, just to reel the team back and hopefully muster something up here after the timeout.
And Pancakes himself has said, my IGL is much stronger when I'm playing better, when the confidence is just exuding to everybody on the team. So this is going to be a hard position to pull out of, but one of the strong ones if he can, and will actually build the confidence because it's going to be a tough comeback.
So you're not giving me any confidence now that he's playing 1-12 in terms of his IGL?
Hey,
but
that's the turnaround.
The good news as well is that Digizine also mentioned when it comes down to that conversation that we had, I think it was with Andre, he was saying like, it's my turn as a leader. I have the experience right now for this team outside of Superman. I have to now provide the leadership for the newcomers of Bao, Zerona, and Pancakes who are playing their first rookie year here for EG. So hopefully there, with the 10 seconds remaining before the barriers drop, after listening to Coach Potter, this is also going to be Digizine, giving them some hope. Hype them up, but at the same time, hoping to get something out of this showstopper as well. Sees Nate to start for the control over on that A side. Les was just able to avoid that.
How? How is the question? Oh, man. So they're not really going to expect too much of a push out, but they have to at this point. Pancakes looking for a quick peek, but reconsiders as the low buy is going to need all of the power that they can muster here to do some damage. Prowler for Prowler is traded. KRU another round where they are just sourcing out as much util from EG as they can.
And think about the noise that's been made so far by KRU. It's all been done by just one single player. You don't know who it is, but you would think here that it's Les because he's always lurking on that side. So now you're forcing EG to be a little bit more proactive around the map. Almost got punished there over on that C mound. So now finally the jig is up. And they realize here for EG that it was just a fake tap to start on that door. 3 players now leaning towards that waterfall to try to fight. But again, there's still so much time left on the clock for Sadak to even call another pivot if he wants to.
Might get some action out of Les in the door. No, won't be open by either of them towards the A side. Spike is going to commit, though, towards C here. And they have chosen EG's strong site. Will they be able to get all the shots they need here? MW Zera cleans up a few. Or no, I should say Sadak comes up with another one here as there's a moment of breathing room, but that's because EG is just backpedaling to try and set up the forces. Zerona picks up a weapon. And they need to do some damage to KRU here.
This is doable. If they want to utilize a showstopper, take space, if KRU stays on site, that'll have to be a big decision right now for EG to take.
I think they're confirming if anybody could be double lurking on him right now. Digizine doesn't have a blast pack to get himself in, so they may go ahead and hold this, just hoping 11 rounds isn't too much pressure. No, he activates it now, seeing him leave the site. And they're going to try to force their hand with that one. Already pushing back in. Zerona's able to take one down. KRU actually in a pretty sticky situation here as the defuse starts to go through already towards half. KRU trying to rush back through. The defuse comes through as Bao's able to take that one home.
It's a bad plant. A terrible plant for KRU to play outside of the site as they're trying to spam with the Odin, but it's not in a scenario or a place that could really take down the diffuser. So even if the showstopper being shot down towards that spot, it should connect towards water, do some damage as well. And the Paranoia Haunt also allows for them to encroach, that EG that is, to drop the players inside that site. Now you stick it, you convert it thrifty, and that's a huge conversion off the timeout from Coach Potter. But
that's crazy.
It seems that KRU They don't want to give that momentum back for EG. A quick push, 5 players outside towards the E lane. There's only Pancakes there playing solo on A.
Able to delay with 1 Prowler. And if it's KRU's intentions to go into the site, they are going to get the site right now. Given up already, EG goes for full retake on this. Very smart move. They have 2 Odins to roll back in with. Let's see how they can produce a strat out of this.
And an op.
Les gets hit by 1, and Digizine's going to be able to clear him on a very close corner. That's the start EG need to round 17. Spike planted, EG resets. And this is one of the things that they wanted to work on, is setting everything up before they get into the play and not doing it by the seat of their pants on the way through the play. Getting pushed back, delayed right now by KRU, but Bao still finds another kill in the site. A second in the site here as EG start to flood, and that is going to be KRU washed away.
EG putting huge value into the 2 Odins and the Operator within that round. An expensive one added, but they were able to convert it off that hat that was thrown here by Bao. You saw the positioning from EG, staying back towards that B line, respecting a potential late lurk coming out from the side of KRU. But as soon as the ping comes out, you saw how they grouped up. The paranoia was huge to deny KRU from pushing up on the top of heaven to fight back. So they stay out in the open, caught off guard. And EG takes them all down, being KRU.
Oh, yo, come on.
But there's still money in the pocket out for KRU to work with. Heat with the chamber ult around everybody else on half shields. Another 5 players set up now for KRU to start walking up slowly once again over on the A site. Seems as EG want to play this cautiously. It'll just be the camera setup. Very passive take from Bao. Just not allowing potentially Les to walk up on that staircase again.
Just let them get tripped up on the traps. Know that they're running and trying to scamper into position after the plant. If EG can keep that chaos flowing. Almost a second. Are they going to drop in very fast? They're trying to keep them out of drop with that nade. Bao takes position already. And yeah, EG is right on top of KRU the moment they are in the site. Incredible timing. What pressure KRU is feeling right now. So it's going to take everything to either get into the site or back out and find a way through. Les gets a huge kill that could allow them to transition over to B. Heat with another one. And yeah, Dante is out of there. High talent it to the other site.
Huge pick there from Les, just staying inserted. Just break room. They open that up. He moves towards the C side. The 2 players stay inserted to cut the rotates, but Bao takes him down.
30 seconds left.
That will now force Les to fall back with Dante. The gamble now is, should we play the pit or not? Because of this first angle, he just want to cut the first rotate from the A site over on C.
EG has been great in these positions.
Oh, this is huge by Dante. He just heard a footstep too.
Les going to be the contact. Dante is going to be the secondary, but the timing might be off here. No, Dante's still able to get one, sees the barrel, alerts him, and KRU's able to take down 2. And while EG's been great in these positions for this series, it has been a problem rearing its head in the NEVX situations that they fall down and KRU takes the momentum back.
Hitting the emergency brakes in the EG train that was looking very strong, especially with this drop from Bao. The first pick, they get good information, but also by getting that kill from Pancakes, dropping that spike, that gives a chance for KRU to just reset for a bit, pick up that spike after the last kill, and not be forced to stay on site. So unfortunately, another unlucky moment for EG because of that. And KRU is able to salvage that round and put themselves up at 11 within this first map.
Oh.
Spike being dropped for them to default across the map. Heat trying to find a pick.
Going fast. Favors the speed of Heat, and he takes Digizine down right away. That's so much retake potential for EG as well. And now KRU isn't even worried about moving fast to one of the sites here. They still want to see how EG is going to play ball. Well, they go towards the pit because you figure there's probably one person hiding in it, and you're going to get this off site.
I mean, you also have a dog. Sadat could also TP inside that pit to get information. You'd start spraying through that.
Flush him out. Just like that. By process of elimination, you know he's got to be up top, but Zerona still hits it. A beautiful tag coming out of Bao there. Oh. All three into sight. They're going power and numbers now for KRU as they try to get this plant down. Just on the cusp of the site, Bao takes another one out. He has been super snappy in these rounds for Evil Geniuses, and they need it versus KRU's power at this moment. Paranoia is back and forth, trading a bit of time, trading a bit of space. Now the bomb. Finally in a place to plant, but is it safe enough to even try?
Here.
Sadako will commit. And they go for the pit here. What a shot from Heat. A third one on the round. He's been so quick, nobody even can touch him before he TPs out in these situations. And now EG's forced to take from either side. It could benefit them, but it also could collapse the round. Neural Theft goes out. They're trying to run around. They're trying to scatter the pings, and it works just enough to scatter Bao all over the site. That's another round for KRU as they put map point pressure on EG.
And that's the thing, the pressure forces EG to make mistakes. I think the small mistake that we see is that Paranoia throw by Superman on the 3 versus 3. Looks like he wanted to blind that line, but there may be confusion in terms of the communication to Fled as a team. He didn't have a smoke to throw towards that C line yet, if I'm not mistaken, so there was no way the other two from Waterfall could really pressure down towards that bend. And because of that, you see that KRU are able to reposition themselves, find their own timings, and put themselves also at map point in this series.
He goes right back for it. That would have been some deja vu. Well, Superman catches him on the door opening as EG screams into that rubble position. Okay, Les. Okay. They are right on the other side of this wall. It's going to be crazy when this wall drops and the kills go to KRU as a slide out from Dante would have bolstered the forces for even more. But that doesn't mean EG's going to stop trying to fight this. Digizine wants to roll it with another, and the blast pack scrambles KRU just enough so EG can find another round to keep Lotus alive.
Where was this from EG on their defensive side? The assertion of walking forward, the confidence to walk forward and fight into those spots was beautiful. And they were able to do so because of desperate measures. A bucky in the hands of Zerona was just, or Pancakes rather, was just trying to walk down that line to hold that doorstep. But allowed here for Superman to get the pick.
No, we
play
win
as a
shit,
group.
bro.
And they're happy. In terms of those type of results, I think it's also going to breathe a lot of confidence for EG moving forward here that, hey, they can make these type of Hail Mary plays and still convert for good rounds. And it works. I mean, they're trying again. They tap open the door. This time they're trying to encroach into a split potentially in front of that B site. But after Digizine gave up that line with the operator on that C line, EG decides to not fully commit into finding the front of that B site. Back into a cut noise. Re-hit. Prod the map for KRU.
A mobile sniper is an efficient one. Digizine goes from B to A to find that line, taking down less, which means they don't have to worry about the wall. And this is going to be a little bit easier controller-wise for EG to set up this defense. Superman asks for a bit more over towards the C site, and here comes the rest of the team to help him set up. More delay so they can get into position.
I'll find you.
Want over. Quickly destroyed, so they know they have a good idea. EG has a good idea of what's going on, but he trying to switch that around. EG just has the answer at every angle.
30 seconds.
So lower by the KRU has, so that's thankfully, despite the missed shots coming out from Evil Geniuses, they still have better weapons. Digizine getting 2 with the operator within this round, but an open site for KRU to take to plant over on A. So that will build the econ.
Cash money.
And also the ult for NW0 in the next round.
Planted. My ult. I'll find you.
He's got a lot of headhunters back there. Oh, he's opened the door. Somewhat committing to site. Okay, they're not going to give him the time of day there. It's the push from Zerona and the rest of the team. Oh, Dante with the Bucky. That's huge. He does make the headhunter sing, and now they've got upgrades. This isn't one of those situations, right, Vance? The 2VX, the something VX. Showstopper's out, and it does. Don't stand against the wall. Heat with 1. He's trying to play the time, trying to delay. Oh my gosh, he's gonna do 1v1 against the op, and then it's gonna be a half. Pancakes gets the kill! He secures it! It's not the intangibles anymore. It's the frag that he needed, and he pulls in a major round for Evil Geniuses.
One of those bullets just whiffed by the ear of Pancakes as he almost had it. Would have been another huge clutch on his side. He who had a clutch ace just yesterday. Insane coming out here from both Heat and MW0 for the last 2 games, but man, this is not something you really wanted now for the side of EG in terms of converting the round. This was a lower buy for KRU. We had to use a Nightfall, the showstopper, and also try to win it on a 1v1. 3K. But yeah, it's everything's reset when it comes down to the ultimates, though, for EG moving forward for the last 3 rounds of the half. So this timeout, it will definitely give a lot of advantages for KRU coming out of here. MW0 has his, and it's now up to Coach Zonic to see how they could explode now with this util, with these ults.
What a map to start. EG to find their footing as well, partially the way through on this Lotus. We were wondering, the pick was interesting for them to come through. They run the same thing, and they're still kind of finding that identity. I think both of these teams were ironing out on their way in here, and only 3 more rounds EG need now. Potter gets a chance to talk to the team there, and like you said, Van, she has been successful as she comes out of those timeouts, so they have a big idea of what to do here.
That was a huge conversation there. You saw that Coach Potter was really just yapping.
Yep.
So looking at it, trying to get the line of the operator in front of B. Will he try to walk down? Because for KRU, they haven't really pressured that line at the beginning. So if they lock that down, gives a chance a little bit for EG to stack up on the extremities, but they're setting up a 1-3-1.
They change how Pancake's Prowler works. He's been doing it from kind of in main, from breakable, through door, gets a for sure tag, and confirmed towards rubble. So he plays super safe. EG goes for the retake on that position again here, and they're playing very mobile towards mid. KRU, all their forces ready to move in on A and commit this for a final round.
EG is just hoping that this is a fake so that KRU would break door and go back towards B. That's why they have the 3 players on that side. They have nothing to delay over on A. So if KRU commits into this one, they'll be now at the advantage in the post plan. There it is.
KRU funneling just about everyone in a tree. If they kill less, this becomes pretty tough, I feel. Heat takes one down, though, and they're making just a good case for closing this one out right now. They know they need to source less. He has caused so much trouble for EG. They go right for rubble to try and find him, and it's preventing them from heading towards the spike. They can now focus back onto the site.
No
EG start to move in, but that's a kill. Dante's able to get it from drop, and Superman and Zerona start to push in from tree here to try and uproot the rest of KRU. Out of the site, Heat with an operator trained on a sliver shot, and the pixels are perfect. He gets 2. KRU takes the first map, 13-9. Welcome back to VCT Americas and map 2 here of our final play-in series. It is Sunset. It is EG trying to take down that team that was on your screen right there. Heat standing up, making and taking the shots. They have to shut this man down, and also the one next to him. Les, Digizine, the man on your screen right there, is going to be the one screaming into the sights, and as you can see, he's going to be on Neon this time.
Look at the agent composition for both EG and KRU Visa. As Coach Potter just mentioned with Liz, there are no compositional changes for the side of EG, but for KRU, same thing. And I think right now, when it comes to what Coach Zonic was mentioning, where they got kind of picked apart by MIBR, was how good MIBR was working on defaults, the pressure that they have on the A side, and then the slow inserts that they play on middle, and also just catching players off rotate because KRU were counting too much on their trademarks on the top middle that you could just play around that radius and get those picks around. So I think making sure right now the win cons for KRU is that we're clearing every single one of these corners when we're rotating across. And for EG, they could still have a very similar playstyle to MIBR despite having a different comp. Because the Viper, with the wall that she utilizes, adds the same type of pressure that the Neon wall does.
Yeah.
That Zekin was doing here. Sorry for that. Ospas was doing over on the A line.
And Zerona loves that Viper. You'll know exactly what to do with that pressure as they set wall up towards the A side of the map here. EG start on attack. And they see Heat for a pick. Of course, he'll go for a quick one. And they have to know they're going to catch some pop flash plays from Sadak on this KO. They'll be more than ready, we expect.
Pancakes with drone and small shield so he could clear around that map, allowing now for EG to have a confident push in the back of A.
Ooh, and nobody could follow Digizine, so that was very important. He took down Heat himself. And Dante kind of stuck on slant, but KRU and MW Zera now moving in to try and reposition on the site. And they've kind of flipped it now. It's EG on both sides and KRU sandwiched in the middle.
There's no post-plant util, but it is planted out in the open, so you can play the sandwich from gate and elbow.
A push towards spawn, easily taken down by Digizine. And now they can start to focus a little bit more down on what's happening in sight. The dance from Pancakes, able to get one for himself here on Pistol. But it's KRU picking up the last few kills, putting the pressure of the defuse down, but Bao comes up big again for a round, and the EG start with Pistol this time.
Very nice that EG decided to push out towards the spawn at gate and play a 2-2 in that scenario. Because when you drone on the short side and everybody focuses on the elbow, you kind of open up the door for KRU to move in here from shop, from short A into the site. So if you're not playing a crossfire setup, then you know that KRU can play the strong retakes with the aim that they have. You break all the crosshair placements, you keep them at bay when KRU's trying to flood back, you deny that and have a huge pistol round to start on your map pick. They talked about crumbling under the pressure for EG that they've been trying to work on going into this game. Again, it's backs against the wall. Yeah. They lose this matchup here. They have no chance to make it to champs. Not enough points in the circuit. You have to make top 2 in these playoffs to represent the Americas later on in Shanghai.
Split map already for EG. They're trying to read how KRU wants to play these lower buy rounds, as well as get in safely with everything to the next round. And that's going to be, again, another contact walk over towards the A site for Evil Geniuses.
Play similar things, but the drone, if they decide to use it for EG, will clear out the A site. That will maybe decide for them to push towards A if they want to, but then also allow for Bao to rotate in. But as the drone doesn't come out, I think that's probably a pineapple call. The timing here for Bao, that he's inserted towards that B site with 0 pressure. But with the knife only catching 1 for KRU, it might give a chance for Heat to maybe shoot some players crossing over towards this B site, despite the position from Bao.
Yeah, he's got his ear to the wall here. He can hear everything happening on this, and he'll look for a quick one to start, and catches a quick one from Digizine. Over and over, he continues to heat up.
I got scared, because look at that smoke there from Superman. It's not even covering the entrance to the B site. That could have been a huge headhunter shot.
Yeah, he has been on one, so it was big again that they shut him down. Digizine, that's actually 2 rounds in a row. He opened up A site to do it, as we see another kill traded out there. This sliver, the death of so many players, and Pancakes gets a good bit of chip damage out of it. Wait for the flash maybe, if Sadak has one. No, just the knife goes out as you see it go off on the left side of the screen. And this looks all but too easy for EG here to get the crossfires and close down. And Digizine with 3 on this one. He is racking up 4 on this one as he is racking up the kills. 2 away from ultimate coming into their bonus round.
When you talk about that sliver pixel there, right to look into the market, that's a huge spot for Heat that loves to play that in the pulse plant with the operator once KRU takes on the attack side. But this is definitely a big momentum boost for EG. The 4-piece you just mentioned here, Riv, from Digizine.
Dang.
You need a man like that to activate. Already 6-0-0.
Dang. Doesn't even need an assist.
Now allows himself to continue with this rifle.
Oh, on your foot. It's on your foot. Oh, Dante gets the Rona on the other side as both sides of the map get active.
Fortunately for EG, it's a man advantage for KRU because of that push of Dante, and an instant rotate from KRU over on B site, because seems like Evil Geniuses feel like they have to move a little bit more quickly.
Bao taking a very aggressive position, but is slightly backed up by Digizine there for a trade in kills. Knife to come out. No, that's a little pop flash, but nobody can really work off of it. Slight bit of space gained. But really, less coming around here from the outside could be a big factor. Kills come through for Superman already. They start to dissect KRU, but there's still a trade. This isn't for sure EG's round just yet. Heat falls now. The 2v2 as things are evened up, and Pancakes, a low buy weapon for him. But it's not for Digizine. Oh, he made the step. The overdrive's there as he slides to safety.
Spotted for him.
Tempts them with the Phantom. Brings out the jump. And now he just plays all the time. Knows he's in the head of MW Zera here. A player he knows all too well in these situations and will easily play the time to grab the bonus round for Evil Geniuses.
The hands up at the same time for Digizine to wave at MW0. Two veterans of the scene in Valorant in the Americas. Two Brazilians have gone head-to-head, toe-to-toe in their own respective regions, even before the partnership era. And you saw here that Digizine, when it came down to those jiggle peaks, he was still very prudent against MW0, because playing against the man himself, the Durbada player, you know he's always going to be able to burst back against them, and that's a huge bonus round for EG to take.
Insane. The way he's tricking him with overdrive, phantoms in the face, 9-0 for Digizine. Absolutely nuclear game right now, and we're only into the 4th round. He is going to try for a first pick, and he finally cools Digizine down.
Well, that knife is huge.
Way 3 contacted in mid.
Thankfully, though, with the pick from Heat, no weapons can get picked up from the side of KRU, so they're still playing with low economy. Pistols across the board. MW0 Stinger is actually being held with Heat towards his B site. Gives a chance for EG to play the contact now towards the A. Despite this still having 3 players from KRU over on that site. Better weapons. Back exposed. An advantage now for EG to move in for the plant.
Checking their watch. All the timing in favor of EG right now. Not afraid to make sound in sight, but they're still playing the no chance game, trying to clear. KRU pushed into bow and then pushed almost into their coffins there. Less able to stay alive, stay above ground, and now pick up a weapon. I was going to say, Superman, I don't think is ready for the pinch. And this is going to be KRU now screaming back and around. They should not be winning, and Les is there to make sure they do. The defuse comes through, and after those 3 rounds, KRU are able to sneak in a thrifty.
Look at where the bodies are for EG in terms of, once we see the replay, where they're dying. Nowhere where they're tradable, especially with the combination of that paranoia slide from Dante. Look at where Zerona's at. He can't swing out to help out towards that front A line. So they all get dropped one by one. Players are rotating back on off angles, and despite such a huge start for EG, they get fully denied, and you see here Coach Bonner, this should have been an easy 4-0. But thankfully, because you converted the bonus, there's still enough to buy, and you also have big ultimates for the side of EG.
Yeah. Digizine can just reach into his big pockets and buy everybody at this point. Very fast into A. Oh, there's the pop flashes we were talking about, but it's for himself. Sadak tries to make a little mini fight happen. He's good for 1. I mean, having Digizine out of the fight is taking out a big X factor here for EG.
Is there going to be another overcook here? Because look at Bao. He's calling another pineapple right into this position. And you know what happened last time when they rotated all the way from C to A site? They were getting picked off one by one. And Bao also lost his life by overcommitting a push right into the rotate from KRU. So I hope that you learn from your mistake here. You're just going to play the angle. So far, he's not moving. Giving a chance now for EG to grab or plant and play a bit.
So they just have to focus on market, really. That smoke goes up, so they buy a bit of time. High-low, really kind of a disjointed one, which makes it even harder for KRU to understand how to act against it. And Superman's protection there is pivotal.
That's going to have to be a save. Heat has an operator, Les has a phantom. Paranoid cannot even activate a pushback from Heat into the B site. So you have to commend that high-low position. KRU was really focused on the Prowler going up against Bao on the top of the boxes, allowing Superman to swing out and catching 2 players off guard, who also overswung before the Nightfall gets a confirmation that there was actually a second player in Boba. So a slight mistake coming out from KRU, giving a chance here for EG to reset things once again in their favor in this round number 5.
Really vibing on Sunset. And then we saw a bit of this momentum from Evil Geniuses coming at the end of Lotus there. Just not enough to close out the round and catch up to the pressure that you had KRU putting on one of their strongest maps. But Sunset, such a different story. Night and day here for Evil Geniuses as every plan they put into place seems to work out. So much love on that team. And the button will be pressed over here on the side of KRU Visa for a timeout to reorganize the squad for round 6.
I mean, it's a tough matchup right now for KRU, not only because of the respect that Les and the everybody gives to Digizine and the preparation that EG puts into the fights and into their matches. It's also here into the back-to-back that they have to prep for in these matches. And that's why you need star players here like Les to really step up to the plate.
Yeah.
He's done perfectly on Lotus in that previous map. This time around, though, going into the Agent where he plays a little bit less now, no pun intended, going into the play-ins because, you know, he's always playing like the Cypher or the Viper. And the reason why they went into this compositional changes and re-identify themselves on different maps, it's because you need Sadak to play an initiator that can activate Dante a little bit more. That still allows here for Les to play the lurk roles where he played it to perfection against Sentinels just yesterday to eliminate them from the VCT Americas. So keep an eye out on Les if he can continue to do these type of inserts on this Omen, especially when he can TP across lines on this second map here on defense. Currently set up on the top of middle to watch down that line of tiles. But EG still going back into the Viper Wall commitment and conditioning over on the A side. Oh, nobody breaking that hot though, so you know now that the lean from Zerono is not a condition for that wall on the A side anymore. And that crew may think that EG might mid-round finish into a mid to B split.
They're going to keep eyes on that. Except for right now, if EG were making that move, they'd easily be able to contact right into Market, into the back of Dante, but it feels like Crew is okay with the timings right now, and they're going to start rotating right towards that first drone. Sadak kind of hesitating on this, but feels like they're okay if Heat is deeper in the site, and his rendezvous is going to get him to safety if they do decide to go A.
That's the thing, though. The drone from Pancakes is clearing towards that B site. Didn't see the line from Heat opping on that spot. But this is also a common position for operators. Remember, also Jerwin loves to play that spot on the waylay, so EG, they have to make sure that they're staying clean to clear out that spot.
That's why it's so good. It's protected from the util, gives them a moment here, and Digizine cannot get the personal clear down for the team. They're delayed by the fragment grenade.
Also a trip on A.
20 seconds. They're trying to set up the protocol so they have the plan. Everything layered perfectly. And they head in. Plant's going to go down, pretty much default spot here.
Spike planted.
And Crew lets it happen. They don't want to get caught up in the chaos. Dante might even get the overdrive ready for this one as they start to scream back into the site. There's the ultimate going off. Dante's going to be the spearhead on this one. He's going towards slant, catches the back of one. Pancakes couldn't even really see in that situation. Zerono with a very fast fire to take down the aggressor. And he gets a second one on the fight. EG looking pretty good in this if Bao can do what he does best, but Heat already very much on that line with the operator, and Crew come back for a very big round after timeout.
EG got very lucky to be able to make it into the site unscathed despite losing a player early on Digizine at elbow. Because when you saw that paranoia being thrown by Superman, he had no smokes to throw on shops, no smokes to throw also towards gate. Yet thankfully, no op shot from Heat connects. The jump across, two players jump in front of his screen, and he gets none of those picks, but it still allows here for Crew to set up for the retake. Because EG used so much of that util to get into the A site in the first place, they had no util for the post plant. Zerona tried his darnest to try to save that round for EG. It's Crew now with the second round, converting off the timeout from Coach Zonic. Still having the threat of the operator for Heat still in his elbow.
And I think they want Heat to be the first one to see anyone. With the way that Crew is playing, they've kept Digizine at those 9 kills that he got right away for these past few rounds. So he's not been able to find the openings, the entries. And Crew is very happy with that here as they prod towards mid and now head towards A.
Cage fake TP and on top right side, just trying to thin the defense over on A. But because the trip is still here, they still have the line of the operator there. No rotate coming out from Sadat. They trust less in his position. Oh!
It doesn't matter if he misses the first one, apparently. And Sadak's in sight. They still have a bit of a crossfire here between each other. And my God, Sadak, what are you on right now? Bao's able to clear a transition in mid on Dante, but it's a little too late. And that's going to be another round for Crew. Very clean around the board, really, even losing 2.
Yeah. Like I said, when it went for that cage TP and on top of right side middle, pretty sure Les went for a jiggle, tried to contest that and said, okay, there's no pressure coming through, so that could stay over towards the A side, and EG has to find a different way right now to get the elbow control. The walk down slide, anything is not really working out because Heat is always going to land a shot. You got to start saving some util on that side. But of course, you want to save the paranoia for an A-side hit. So I think at this point, you kind of need Zerona with a snake bite, or even maybe use your relay bolt towards that right side elbow. Because KRU, they're holding down a fort over on A-side thanks to the operator of Heat, who's now currently perched up over on the B site.
They're going to hear the trap. EG hears this in mid on the other side, so they want to destroy it again. And Sadak and team will give up the space that time. What a read to know it's going to be aggressed on. Is he in the right position? Digizine still gets the stinger to work for him. Oh my god, through the wall as well. MW Zera's forced into B main here, so a re-clear from EG has to happen.
I mean, he could just flip the site and keep controlling the back of Boba.
Yeah. Oh, Superman through the scope. An unlikely character to have it, but just firing down whatever is necessary. And only one more. Less. They know he's going to be coming from afar here on a lurk in a position they haven't cleared just yet.
Since when could Superman op? Never saw him with that before.
Well, back in his day.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe. Maybe in Crossfire, I don't know. But very good in terms of sheriffing, very good with the Guardian. I've seen those shots. We've all seen those shots on Bind, for example. But the Operator is new for me. I love now after 6 years. Comes to still surprise me, and EG is able to convert a lower buy going into this round.
Thrifty.
And they are going to be happy about that one. This kind of evens out the type of scenarios that we've had so far in this first half, because remember, this could have been, should have been a snowballing half for EG after converting bonus, and should have been a 4-0 at that scoreline. Yeah, see? Even Superman says it. I can up.
I can do this.
But
of course you can.
He's going to give it to Zerona for this round. And I'm okay with this, right?
Pass it around.
Comes back to what Emu was mentioning on Lotus, wishing that Digizine would be playing that Neon for the team on Lotus, because he's so good in terms of the slide contacts that he gets. The instant kills that he gets off the slides is very similar to Dante, as we witnessed so far in this series. Both of these Neons now prolific in the series.
Yeah. Trying to get aggressive, too. KRU takes a bit more of a position in mid. They have to rotate over towards market as they hear all this commotion from EG crashing into the site. And MW Zera does them good for one here to start off with the first blood. Drops the overdrive, so that's no longer a problem for the retake, but Superman still is.
That's info on the left side.
Wait, they're just going right in the pop flash. They're trying to make plays under the nose of EG. And they pull the rug right out from under him. Heat with the savior shot onto Sadak there from Boba to keep KRU in the sight.
Toxins going up.
Op v op. Zerona happy to go forward. EG's got quite a bit of money here to keep going, so he's going to keep looking for the kills to see what he can do. Great reaction by KRU in this round to get back into the site and start to pressure EG as soon as possible. And Sadak's going to be his first target.
30 seconds left.
He's fast with it.
One enemy
Oh,
remaining.
he's real fast with it, Verona. Now, in a 1v1 with Les, his elbow almost sticking out.
Spike planted.
He's going to quickly turn, and Les is already there. Never a moment to gain space for either team in this game. You've got to expect it.
Being very vocal, you could see here through his camera. Felt it. Felt that he should have won that 1 versus 3, because those shots were sublime. And these shots were on blind players. Nice little pop flash through, reacting after the neural theft from Bao. But look at that, baiting out these shots. He probably thought that Les was still very far in the rotate. Because like I said, a pit wraps around, has the pit to work with on a pulse plant, but unfortunately, it doesn't pan out here for the newcomer of Zerona into the EG roster, and KRU are now closing that gap in his first half.
It's like everybody's getting the calm down hands. This play is saying whatever. But it just looked like, yeah, especially after that, kind of get around EG, could have won there. You just want to make sure you let them know they're still doing the right thing. I mean, I think a lot of that talk from Zerona was, hey, we got this. We're getting these rounds that close. Let's just push it over the edge. And like we said, they have the money to keep pushing.
And But again, I think I have to think about the rounds that they had on Lotus when they had that low buy and pushing down towards that A rubble on a lower buy, just dueling against KRU and just winning all these duels. They need that to continue forward here on this map of Sunset. Because right now, we've always praised EG from the start of the stage that the macro has always been very good. The reads have been very good. The prep has been quite good. But when it comes down to the micro executions for EG, that's where they kind of faltered. You saw it for a bit here for 2 rounds where they're trying to take elbow control, denied by Heat with the operator, who's now once again setting up on that side. I mean, you got 3 over here. Heat maybe won't go towards elbow because of the position of his TP.
Cover going out.
But he's still watching that line.
Just one caught. Pancakes in that knife from Sadak, so they kind of want to rotate away. And the drone, so they love to run back for the drone.
Exactly. AG's just doing very similar things, just trying to get the information on the B side. The op is not there, so okay, he might be towards the A side. So after the timeout, you're thinking, let's start using util potentially to push him off this line. But because Heat is just playing so passive right now, it's wasting util on the side of EG potentially, and he could still even get a pick from his off-angle position out behind the gate.
Les also on a box on the other side. You can see Superman on a box on this side. They're trying different things for both teams just to get the edge in these rounds. That's how close it is. From the shadows is going to reveal just a bit of information. But this is unknown until the wall drops. A shot from Heat's just wide there. Digizine's going to keep putting the pressure on. This time the wall for safety instead of fighting gate right away. And they have the smoke to keep just putting that pressure on to keep KRU out of the sight. They went in right away, though. They went in again right away under the nose of EG, but they're aware of it this time and react way faster than the previous round.
The value of that paranoia onto Superman right towards that short side. So very similar to the pistol round, KRU feels that they have an open door to flood back towards the dumpster into short A. And yet they get 2 of them blinded from Superman's paranoia, and EG just shuts them down. But I like the look, despite the... I think even if Superman doesn't TP towards that back of the spawn, the fact that you're playing a Zerona wall up with a recon dart from Pancakes, just to confirm of where the operator could be set up at. And see how much util EG has in the post plant remaining. Oh, if they continue this way, this is going to be a great first half for EG.
Pancakes getting that has to feel good, too. The IGL getting online, seeing those kills come through, and a flawless for this round as he is calling the team at these positions.
Oh.
Jeez. They love pushing right into gate as soon as they get into sight.
He is the hunter!
He is the hunter. It is true.
But you see the value of that pop flash from Sadak. Again, the ways that you want to activate Dante. The reason why also you're playing this double initiator for KRU. Almost got that pick there onto the hunter.
Yep. EG seemed to have shaken off that first game already. No elimination faces them here within this game, and playoffs on the horizon if they can get through. We start off round 11 with a crash into B now.
Still
for
hunting.
EG. Pancakes is very much hunting. Try to escape that. Digizine holds the front line, and this is an easy plant here. His crew has to give up the space.
Still got to pray. Pop flash and a slide to get information first. That's kind of like a mini drone.
Trying to displace him. Digizine still gets one out of that. The trades for EG are still coming through to whittle away at KRU's retake numbers, and that's tough. Heat takes one in the shin. He's down.
They're going for this.
They don't have a ton of cash in their favor either here, so EG's going to be able to run away with a few rounds if you consider the way it should go.
It was close.
Yeah, they'll save.
Yeah, looks like Les was looking for a pick. If anybody was playing on the edge of that smoke, trying to get lucky with a knob shot inside of that pit, that would have dropped things. I mean, look at what Les has. He still has a paranoia to work with. So that maybe would have evened up 2 versus 2 indeed. Especially with how Heat has been shooting so far. Becomes a clean hit, though, for EG.
Okay.
Into the B site. Great map control. Great way to space towards that back of B. Control the Boba as well, sorry. That's off some great Hunter's Fury beams out from Pancakes.
Even under pressure, they're performing there. In the situations, EG should be just going down. They're getting one, and that's what's mattering for them, because the rest of the team can repair the round if anything happened. It's coming together for them here in the second map.
KRU wants to change things this time. They want to fight back down towards that line where they punished Sharona before. The pop flash slide potentially here.
We've only really seen this aggression from KRU towards mid. It looks like they still want to commit. Bite goes down, and they might go right away. Or, name of the game throughout this series is contact as far as you can go. Both teams realizing this is going to create a pretty big fight here. So no one's giving the peak first.
The Toxic Stream going down as well. The fuel being saved by Sharona. That's why you didn't pop flash yet. The timing on that one. He saw the other two, though. Plans foiled for KRU, forced to fall back. Now pivoting EG into a faster mid-take.
There he goes. Digizine to the left side. MDV Zera. Not the lower buy, right, for KRU here. They did save a few guns, but the Stinger pulls out the kill first. Now they just have to source one out. The pop flash goes through, but this is such a position. They catch 3 immediately, as there is no safe space for EG on the map for this round. 7-5 for the first half, and KRU are able to pull that one back with a flawless.
Trip under the pressure. This is just normal stuff to play. That trip on the top of the ace of middle for the side of KRU that Heat just placed. And then EG feels that pressure coming in from the A line. They move up. They don't break that trademark, and then everything gets stalled by beautiful util right here for NW0. They get slowed by the trademark. They get seized on top of that, and now they get pop flashed and ran over, and EG now only has a 2-point lead where it should have been more.
We're going to swap sides. KRU will take the attack, but it's up to EG to bring us to a third map. Don't go anywhere. There's more after this.
Whenever I use Zowie models, I would say I just feel my element.
Demon 1 is good!
Without Nyack, the biggest difference was the ghosting. It was a immediate change. If you see something and it's not actually there, you're gonna miss your shot. Black Equalizer and Vibrance, I can react quicker to it, I can shoot better at it.
This guy is just spectacular!
And that way I can always trust him, that I can just focus on competing. My performance will always be at the top level.
Zowie.
All right, DGZen, we are here in the lower bracket of play-ins, but talk to me about, you would give your rookie self any advice right now. What would you say to him? Look in the camera and tell him.
Okay, to be honest, that's a good question. I would say be more patient about like your future, because for me right now, I'm thinking too much and then it's not good enough. You know, when I lose like one game, I hold that feeling like for too long, and then I feel like, okay guys, that's not good enough for me, don't feel like better for me. And then that's my only thing I would say for you. Be more patient. It's okay if you lost right now. Take your time, like enjoy the momentum right now, and then be happy.
Be happy indeed. Best of luck today.
Thank you so much.
Let's be happy, but it's not okay if you lose right now. That one, yeah, but no, that's great information, is be patient. And it seems like EG was able to kind of turn that patience up and figure out KRU as they went in. We are locking into the second half of the number 1 VPN, ExpressVPN, as we get this one underway. And it is going to be EG trying to scream back and bring this to distance.
The patience of Digizine was also speaking about his own career. Getting no wins on Furia, not having his going to success with Loud, having to play the challengers and back now onto the stage with EG. A second chance, maybe a third chance under the helm of Coach Potter. Starts off a second map with a bang. The KRU's able to answer back, close that gap. Now on to the pistol, advantage back for EG as Dante's down to 45 HP, which makes things a little bit harder for KRU if they want to re-hit towards this A site. Your tip of the spear now maybe just blunted at this point.
Yeah. Limping a little bit more than usual. The paranoia ready off contact here for what Pancakes can call. Reaction from both sides, but the distance is closed, and a very nice shot from Pancakes finalizes the damage on Dante, so it very much so mattered. They were able to chip away at KRU to start. Ooh, Les just able to get a gun! They could have shot him when he looked down, but they decided to peek when he was looking, and that could be the ace for Les. Another round that he could collect everything. Zerona with one, almost gets the kill and some damage in here. Who else would you want in this situation right now for KRU? Going for fakes, 30 seconds left feels like all the time in the world.
EG is stressing me out in these scenarios. Yeah. 20 seconds left. Yeah, Bandit, though, still very doable for Les because you just saw what he just did.
Bye-bye.
They know. Pulse plant will be difficult. Yeah, camera is still up for Bao. So if the plant goes down, camera comes up, you could figure out where Les will be exiting from.
I mean, you're up against the Cypher. Just to go back the way you came is pretty much the safest thing here instead of explore the site, but he's going to hunker down here just next to the wall and try to give himself a clear 1v1. A wall goes up. He knows more how to play around this than anyone. And the first one's going to be to his left. He now knows where the second is, and he tries to create a little bit of space. A paranoia to delay. Goes just to the side here. Zerona. Youth. Zerona trying to get in there for the kill. Zerona's able to make it happen! Making up for the previous round and collecting it for Evil Geniuses.
That would have been a clutch of the ages there for Les and for KRU. But look at how it opens up so beautifully for EG. Then when right here, Digizene's fully pressured by Les. Superman's still trying to throw a one-way smoke. They're not there to help and assist on to Digizene being under pressure. Then they get popped down there by Les, but you're starting to see in those moments that shouldn't happen. You don't need Zerona to pop off to try to win a 1v1 in the clutch. Because they should have just trusted their weapons, trust the numbers, and just fight for EG. And that's been the conversation week after week for Evil Geniuses, just trying to work the comms, trying to work the confidence.
Yeah. Backing out fast. He said to get that wall up, give himself some safety as they start to trade fast. Pancakes now has to react, and he gets less as he steps back in and out with a jiggle peek. Very good answers here from EG in situations that seem to catch them off guard on Lotus. They are performing now here on Sunset.
All right, Heat playing pretty much the same positions as Jerwin. I feel I'm watching Jerwin right now, inserted right at the bottom of the staircase, watching the crossover from Market. Because the camera got broken at the very beginning, EG, it's harder for them to realize if there was an insert or not onto this B site. KRU guessing here that they should be going towards A. Oh, are they trying to sell a fake here? Walking back towards the middle where there's still 3 EG players flanking.
They're going to see the trademark, and they're going to say, what? So they know the situation now.
Yeah, but NW0's got to call this.
Now he's going to be able to turn around. That's huge for Heat. Almost being able to protect himself in that timing. I mean, this is the lower by round here, but you're seeing where KRU could have found the entries. EG, though, patches up the holes.
Once again, got nervous there because you're letting
touch
Heat
and go.
Get ready to go down. ADSing with the Headhunter is usually pretty good for that first pop, especially when the first point of contact was a 1v1. Thankfully, though, EG is able to convert the anti-eco. No surprises, no shenanigans this time around. And W0 felt that he had that timing for that pick. That said, though, EG getting one step closer to hitting double digits. This is a full rifle round for KRU, and the bonus round for EG has still a rifle for Digizene, who's been, again, very good in these moments in the bonus rounds.
If EG can collect both of the bonuses here on Sunset, you have to expect they can close it out. None of the situations get in front of them after that, right? They have to get through Heat here on A first. Oh, you need to almost catch him looking away, but he still snaps Pancake's head right off. Les now identifies the Zerona lurk, so they have a great idea of what they need to do. Starting to push into B. KRU is going to find a few, but Les finds Zerona in rotation behind his own wall.
While his teammate is spamming on the top of middle through the wall. That's just so good. And that's also because Zerona makes so much noise crossing over that Les just tries to find a timing with the spray and gets it. What if we drop that wall, double swing to fight against him? But to the respective EG as well, they don't know how many players will be behind that wall if they drop it as well.
30 seconds left.
Great comms to put EG at this site here. And they have to pull out all the stops to even make this work. And Superman puts up a stop sign right there. There's 3, there's 4!
Down A.
And Heat is now feeling just that as he is put into the drop smoke. Has to force his way out. Oh, the TP just puts EG in such a good position. Heat swings for one. He was good for this earlier. And the slide from Digizine gives Superman the opening, and they win a round. They had no right winning.
A duo ace there for Digizine and Superman as well. You're right. Something was a call moving forward here after Zerona dies towards middle. That Pancake says we should stack up here towards this A site. And he has some superb shots coming out from Superman.
One enemy remaining.
Dangerous on the slide though. They both lined up in front of Heat, but thankfully Superman has that bandit. And you talked about it, a bonus round converted for EG. Should make things a lot easier for them to close out this second map. So they win both pistols, both anti-ecos, both bonuses.
Oh my God. And then they go into the same play. And KRU reads it 110% this time. The push mid is thwarted for a moment, but the damage already seems done here.
It's 2 weapon upgrades for KRU. Now the Tides have turned, they have player advantage, and also from those kills, Sadak has ult. So the 8 HP, it doesn't matter for him. Because they could pop it right away, and if it gets dropped, he gets rezzed up, he's back at full health. And that's exactly what they're going to try to do. Just move back as a group towards this B site.
Molly yourself?
They could do that.
He's going to just activate here, get that null command into sight for sure. No need to toy around with any of this trickery. Just straight fundamentals. In and out. They'll leave him in sight. Why not? Cannon fodder so the team can react to the trade.
It's not in the best plans for them to play outside of the B site though for KRU. But remember, you have to look out for Heat's position. Thankfully, he only has Headhunter and Spectre to look into the market. So a chance for EG to close that gap.
Odin swinging in on top side of the site with Pancakes as we see market being opened up. Wait, it could be the ace coming in, and Heat is going to be able to close that one down as Sadak falls. And a Thrifty coming in for KRU. Deja vu, fans. Deja vu, exactly like the first half.
Yeah. Just nice shots coming in here. The spray transfer from Sadak has the port as well from Dante right next to him. I was even baited here by the TP out from Heat. So good on them on the pressure that they add here over on the A line.
No!
Wanted the ace. He wanted that ace. All right, back into hero rifles for EG. On to Digizine and Superman, who played lights out 2 rounds ago to convert that bonus round for Evil Geniuses.
A little bit of spending money will hopefully help them in this round through those guns. Zerona gonna try to play a little ratty on this one, and that's honestly, they need to. And do everything to get that cheese and bring us to a third map. There's 2, actually. Are we gonna get this now from Evil Geniuses? What the hell is going on? Heat's got an outlaw. There's next to 0 chance, right? He clears everyone.
All one-shotable.
Unless he's got the quickest reload in the world. Here's 2, and no, Zerona's not even gonna let one of those ring out. EG get the round in their favor just as quick as KRU took the last one.
And you're happy that those hero rifles went into the hands again of the veterans of Evil Geniuses, both Digizine and Superman.
That's the X factor, right?
And bait the newcomers, bait the newbies in the team. Zerona's out there with the pistol. They're aiming at him first. Look at him. Swings onto the side too, so they focus on him, and he gets the instant trade onto Sadak. Beautiful headshot onto NW0 as well. That's what, a 3-piece into the round. Timeout coming out here for KRU. It almost feels like the timeout from Coach Zonic rather, is kind of late, but it kind of makes sense because you've lost your gun round against the bonus from EG. Yeah. There's no real way to really try to salvage that back, and you're just trying to make sure here that it's all uphill from now on after this timeout. This is pretty much the last buy that you would have unless you're able to get a plant on top of that for KRU and maybe muster up another half buy. This is a perfect opportunity now for EG because they have so many ults to their advantages as well. So if KRU wants to play a slow game, this Hunter's Fury available for Pancakes is going to be fairly good.
Pancakes with the calls so far really surging after that Lotus matchup, finding his way. They didn't have a very good game number one, but it doesn't matter, and that's amazing to see in a young player like that, especially with IGL pressure on.
Yeah. Again, very new coming in from Challengers. Had a chance to speak to him before going into the partnership era. I was like, hey, did you actually ever IGL for like Voice like Shopify or anybody? He's like, no, man, only small teams. Being able to play Tier 2 to Tier 1 has been his first experience IGLing and now making it work. But KRU, after the timeout, it's their turn to try to answer back. Let's listen in.
Ele morreu na parede, morreu na parede.
A Viper tava na A, guys.
Tá, aqui a gente vai fazer a mesma coisa aqui na A, viu?
Tô de mira ainda, se ele curta.
É Cypher Neon B. E 3 A, eu acho.
Tá, bora aqui. 1, 2.
Quebrei a trap dele.
Tá, não, cancela essa porra aí. Dante, volta...
Era bom a gente subir no meio.
Volta vocês dois. Vamos voltar nos três. Vamos entrar no três para lá. Suam vocês no meio.
Tá, vocês dois, eu e o Hit?
Não. Lesse e o Hit.
Câmera meio,
Hit.
Ele tava o elbow.
Pegou o Sova. Para ele tava lá.
Eu posso smocar, mas espera aí que eu vou pegar...
Vamos aqui, Dante, vamos aqui, que não deveria... Tá para ele, Dante.
Planta cara.
Peraí,
dois direito. Ele tá direito,
Quando o cara...
Tá B, guys?
Sim.
Depois de...
voltei só.
Cypher Neon B...
Vamos voltar pela base, vamos para voltar correndo.
Ô, Les, eu queria trocar de arma contigo, velho, que eu tô com de vida, mano.
Tá pago, velho. Eu só quero...
30 seconds left.
Pensando em ultar.
Tá.
Eu tenho faca... em 15.
Eu vou voltar pra cuidar Neon.
Ah, tá, já passamos então? Força. Cuidado marcar um. Eu vou passar para marcar aqui.
Fazer um olho também.
Eu posso smocar
Olha a 4 não vou.
Neon tem ult, tá? Neon tem ult. Neon tem ult.
Troca.
Meu angol.
Ulta você, MW, na soma.
Matou, né?
Cima marcado.
Pra ver a esquerda do bomb, rei.
A Neon vai ultar, tá? 2 base. Valeu. Mano, a gente tem que subir meio, guys.
Nice try moving in forward too, but I love the peek that you had from Zorona. It almost looked like he's like, why is he not looking back at that angle? I'm pretty sure there's a gap that he watches from the corner of his screen. So he gets a beautiful pick there on the top of the A ramp. Good calls from KRU in the mid-rounding though. They had 2 big ults to work with to try to stall as much as they could into the post plan, try to catch some players off guard if they're able to hit them with the Nightfall.
The paranoia for Nightfall there was so good from EG.
Exactly.
Oh! Come on, boy.
Douglas, body rock. I wanna feel your body rock.
He's rocking at 19 and 10. So a lot of KRU is feeling it for sure.
You talked about a good paranoia and ult here for KRU, but it's good for AG because they still had a guy on top of News, which was Superman there that thwarted that push from KRU. Attempted to try to fight back for that control. Now they're at map point, speaking of evil geniuses, with a pit.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of util just sorting out that play, and the kill comes in for KRU when it looked like Pancakes was going to get away with 2 on the Odin there.
This opens things up for a KRU re-hit over on the A site. The pings are looking for them to push up on middle to maybe go back and flip the B site, but that should have been 2 easy kills from Pancakes. The reason why I'm saying they could go back towards the A site is because Superman had to use a paranoia for Pancakes to peek out. So when it comes down to a stall, to try to slow down towards the A site, there's nothing on their side that they could utilize.
Pressure, Digizine can actually feel it. A little bit of a 6th sense here. And the smoke up, he's going to use that to anchor himself to peak pawn. But this push here is KRU going to the left, and it's not going to be Bao being ready. Dante with a beautiful slide there, and they know the transitions are going to happen immediately. KRU starts to pick off EG in rotation, one after the other. They have nowhere to go.
That was just a nice slide for Dante. Leveraging the Neon as a selfless agent. Becomes an easy pick for Heat to move forward. And you're just thinking here, if you're sitting here, fade to black, Pancake staring at his screen saying, man, if only I got those kills on Dante and Sadak. There was no way Dante could have slid across like that. It would have been easier for my teammates to hold that defense on top middle. But it's okay, right? It's a 12-6 scoreline that they had. A lot of opportunities to close on that second half. There's no way knowing the experience of EG, that with a 12-4, 12-5, 12-6 lead, that teams don't come back to push it into overtime, right?
No, never. Oh, man. Does seem like EG has shored up a few of those mistakes that would allow KRU to come back, but Sadak likes to pull out all the stops. They don't seem to be ending at any one site here. They're pressuring a site, rotating off, always having less in a position to help in another spot. A nice knife detects everybody, or not everybody, but a few at EG at A, as KRU just scatter about mid. I don't think there's a stop button to this strategy, Vans. Null command goes off as soon as Sadak gets it again, and they start to push their way into the site. More contact than anything, just the Prowler to lead the way. Zerona taking things into his own hands, actually just looks for the spam angle on the box through smoke.
Ticket market control is important for the paranoia of EG.
No way! What a fight! KRU with the protocol to actually attack back before EG even set up. And that's what EG needs to have the best moment for, is putting the plan together. It is completely taken apart before it's even set in stone.
Not working out in terms of positioning for EG within that round. Bao also playing his trips where he's still in the radius of the KO ult. Right? If he gets hit, those trips fully denied, not giving a chance here for Zerona on the top of Boba to get any spam kills in his favor. So KRU moves into the site, an easy plant. And I love, yeah, you talked about protocols here, Riv. When it comes down to what Superman has, KRU is prepared for these antis.
Yeah.
Try to get that paranoia line from the staircase over towards that back of the site, so that's why Les is holding towards News. And that hits all three players like a bus. Dante slides out for the kills. And now KRU closes the gap by 4. Still one more big buy, potentially even 2 big buys for the side of EG, before they might have to call their last timeout if they're not able to convert the next 2 rounds.
Dante with the op, looking for a line in mid to start. And they're good for the info right away. Zerona with the peek, trades a bit of HP, and Heat finishes it off, which gets Les out safely. 9 HP, but still, numbers up.
Behind 2 walls.
Yeah.
That was a Zerona wall up to walk down, trying to escape with an attack smoke thrown at the top. And Heat still hits it. Heat sinking bullets, pretty much.
It seems like it. He hasn't missed very much, and if the op does miss, the Headhunter corrects that action. Still with a slight bit of protection here from Les in mid, so they're only committing 3 towards A. So I don't know if it's that full commit. Again, Sadak hits the sights, pulls the team to a different side, and they continue to work the whole map here.
Camera's going to see and spot 2 feet. The op position for Digizine to get ready for the top middle control.
He puts the op away. Overdrive out. Might decide between the two here at this distance. But he's got to start looking. They got to be confident in each other. He doesn't need to check that same angle Bao has here. He gets paranoid right quick. Les the first one, as now Heat finds that first angle. Bao's not able to protect that much, and they both lose their life. Sight for KRU here with 10 seconds left, and EG now forced to pretty much save.
Yeah, Superman's just trying to run down to pick up the rifle here on the top middle. Now you save the next 2, or these 2 rifles for the next round. But despite EG getting early information, thanks to that camera placed by Bao, unfortunately not ready for the fast take that KRU tries to, or is able to take on the top middle. All thanks to, again, a slide out from Dante, allowing for the rest of the team to follow behind that and not allow Digizine to get any picks with the operator. Trying to go for the highlight reel flicky shots, close range shots. But I feel like if they want to bring an operator out for EG, you got to look at the forward lines, the deep lines with the operator that you could take.
Oh, a little bit of damage. Deep pockets for KRU, so it won't hurt too much, as the alt doors pretty much get traded there. Op still for Heat. And now that's 3 rounds in a row for KRU, and they only have to push for a few more. Jeez. Just continuously pushing back EG before even fighting them with walls, with util, until they squeeze them out of position.
All right, the timeout's actually going to be now.
Yep.
Try to convert this one, and if not, also speak for round 24. Because right now, EG, if they lose this round here, they should put KRU up to 11. EG has not too much money to work with. We're starting to see here that for KRU, they continue to want to try to pressure and fight towards that A line. Even if EG is trying to go for any type of like early plays of paranoia, have Digizine go out, you just throw an early knife there from Sadak and it just removes all of that util if EG tries to fight that line. So they try for different areas, potentially should try for different areas to take control with, maybe try to shut down Heat once again with the operator who's only got 1 assist in the column. He's been landing every single one of his op shots so far. Okay, so after this timeout, EG's not going for the force buy. They're buying just enough here for round number 23. So here rifle for Digizine. Traps being set up over on the A site.
Cover going out.
KRU haven't really been big on committing everything, all their eggs in one basket to any of these strats here on Sunset, but it does look like they will crash into A very quick onto this round. It's like one of the EG rounds where they want to keep pushing forward almost. Ooh, Sadak, thinking he was still kind of hidden a little bit. He gets taken down by Superman, and it's actually 5 still for EG alive here, as it's a KRU scramble that has to happen, and they don't have the chance to go back across the map this time. It's got to be the fight in front. Another bandit kill from Superman. He's going crazy as Digizine actually finds his upgrade for the next round. And they are now trying to source MW Zera.
Solo on a 1v4. All angles being watched. Digizine with the last kill. A thrifty for EG. Another timeout converted from Coach Potter to allow Evil Geniuses to decide their fate on Summit.
Welcome back to VCT Americas and the final series of play-ins that's going all the way to the third map here between KRU and Evil Geniuses. Bow there on your screen for a moment, just had the crowd going here, so it feels like they might have a bit of that momentum all around them, but KRU is going to come back hungry in this third map.
Both of these teams with a gamble for the third map, a brand new map introduced within this stage, where the meta hasn't really been decided on Summit yet, so everybody's trying to find their own little identity. Most recently, it has been KRU by continuing to leverage the Heat Chamber and the Sadak on the KO. And the only time that EG was able to play this map of Summit was trying to define the double controller style a la Haven.
Yeah.
That has defined that type of style where it's more controlling the pace, controlling the tempo, and trying to delay as much as you could with these controllers. So this is also going to be a litmus test for both of these teams. It's a do or die in this scenario where you hope that what you come up with in terms of comps and practice and scrims is going to pay dividends in this third and final map.
And we just heard Dryad talking about KRU Visa's road to champions and how that has worked for them in the past, now trying to reach it this time, and Evil Geniuses having done it back in 2023 when they did become champions. So this is incredible to see young players on EG with the 2 veterans in Superman and Digizine up against world champions in themselves, Sadak, Les, veterans like Heat, and the rest of this squad. It is a matchup to be had for our final play-ins one. We're about to get on to Summit. Let's get ready for this one, ladies and gentlemen. 2 maps already down and only 1 more to go. Qualification and elimination on the line.
Yeah, for EG, if they're able to make it onto the champion stage, think about it. For this roster, there's not a single player from the EG roster from the past that's in here right now. There's only Coach Potter that has made it, that year after year has had to come to rebuild. Remember the BCJs, the Derek Overwatches that really came through. And now this time with another pack of young, hungry players. Also, a quick rebuild into the stage 2 by bringing up Pancakes, and Zerona is hoping to be the proof in the pudding that allows for them to get the upset win against KRU, and unfortunately, to send KRU home.
Such a tough thing to get by There's something about that crewment, that momentum they find in the lower bracket playoff run that Superman stunts for a pistol round as they get first blood on the side of EG.
Not many players TP on top of that in the pistol round, so that is able to catch Dante off guard and give a strong start for Evil Geniuses.
Smoke's being thrown out to delay Crew in any of their forward pushes or information gains. But still, the spike is very, very committed here in a situation towards the B site for Crew. I wonder how they're going to pull out of this one if it's not just going to be these two fighting everybody they see. And that's going to be an alert for EG to say Spike's almost in our spawn. And Crew has to get out of there.
Open up the gaps, though. Look at the smoke. The smoke is on the turret for them to flank. But then it's also Heat taking control of the A side. This could maybe pull back some players into A.
This is like a mixture of all of the maps we've had in one now. Sadak is still pulling a team back and forth through the map, but there's no commitment yet. And EG is lurking just behind the right spots in defense and also to the right site here. Whatever Heat can do could be the kingpin of this round if he can find a few backs.
Superman actually as well on B main.
Sees one. He's going to get a quick fight for Pancakes right here. This has to be Pancakes win, and it's a big ghost kill. And there it is. They start to just pinch down on site, knowing they have numbers and that Crew was scattered to the wind.
Despite the timing that he is able to find, because that smoke was there towards the A trademark, that double flank was perfect for EG, converting another pistol round in their favor. Superman the opener, and Superman will also be the closer, savior of the day. With the backstab there onto Sadak right here with that flank. Oh yeah, Digizine wants to be in their heads too. Crew who has gone for a rebuild, bringing in Sadak, who really wanted to play for the Argentinian organization, to lead the charge and to put Argentina back on the map as an org, as a team. And he's trying to hold this solo to find information on a B lane first. A knife sees nothing, and that pivots Crew to take some mid control.
Almost spotted. Actually sees one. Heard a few feet there on the run too, as you got it on the audio catch. And the door is closed by EG up top mid, so they can focus rather on just the side lanes. Crew walking all the way up through arches in that mid area just to insert, who else? Les, a little bit deeper into that. Now they're going to pull back. Really not confirmed with anything they're taking right now.
Remember how good Superman has been in this spot against Furia. Nobody could take him down. This time it's Heat that's going to challenge that line. It's a trade setup for both Superman and Digizine.
Yeah. Very good discipline right here. We just heard Digizine talking about patience. See if he could tell that to his younger self. And right now he's got a lot of it, holding that, waiting for Superman contact. And Zerona's going to be the first one that has to rush into sight for defense. The util comes out, but so does Digizine with 4! Instant in the blink of an eye. And he searches for another one, but Superman swoops in to collect the flawless.
And you're never going to topple down Superman yet here in his favorite spot at the A-Link. But good on Zerona to call out for the backup, for the help, as soon as Crew starts executing towards the A site. And what I like from the protocols as well from EG, because Digizine had to fall back right here with a nice little 4-piece spray transfer in this replay, somebody else still took his spot to make sure that Heat is going to be, no matter what, traded on the A-Link. Dual ace. That works.
What is the answer? Is it another bonus for EG? Can they control the early game this well for another map?
That's elevation again here for Superman, so EG definitely trying to leverage the verticality of this map, the power of the Omen on defense, and he gets denied by Sadak when both smokes dissipate on middle.
They've continued to pressure mid over and over, seeing what EG will deliver. And this time they get Superman, so they know the smokes are a bit down. And they'll work right into another trap here. Not expecting Zerona, and his discipline is maxed out for this. He didn't expect Pancakes to peek. You can bet that for sure.
Why did Pancakes peek?
Exactly. He didn't expect him to, but Zerona's able to patch it up. But now it's going to be a little tougher as the long-range fights in favor of Crew. They push spawn. Oh no, now Bao is going to get the brunt of this one, and he can't get the kill. and KRU have the read that much more. Still just seeing Zerona. Digizine hasn't shown from that position, so they may have to look, and that could be the saving grace. And that they look away. Why would they expect Sadak? But MWZera looks like he's going to be on that line. No worry for who's in sight. They may lose Dante here, but it's cleaned up quick, and the bonus round should be going over to KRU. Digizine, though, on a heater right now, and he's almost going to be able to get Sadak. Jumps out. Is the brain big enough from the IGL? He's going to go down, and the defuse is not going to be able to come through. That's the smile from Sadak. The iconic winning round from KRU.
That could have been sunset all over again with Digizine getting the overdrive kill clutch for that defuse, but thankfully Sadak throws that molly on the ground and retreats. Zerona was just trying to go for trigger discipline to see if there's going to be more bodies behind, less creeps forward. So why the hell is Pancakes peeking? What is the communication there?
I don't, maybe nothing was said yet, and Pancakes was just getting on the line that...
It's a good bonus.
All right.
Silver lining. Why not?
Coach said so. We're good. Let's move on.
I'm still tilted.
Yeah. It's been tough for a few of these rounds. EG just kind of have the answer in front of them, and it just disappears.
It's a good bonus that Coach Potter says, but you look at the buy that is in for KRU. All rifles thanks to these plants that they've had. And nobody's throwing out an outlaw for EG. So there's still a chance with these small shield buys from KRU that they could do some damage and maybe even tie up the scenario in this first half, looking to split a 3-2 setup.
Swap Zerona to the other side here, so the wall's not as efficient on A, but Superman is still max efficiency right now. They're trying to get a high-low double peek to make sure Sadak cannot be res. Superman with the quick swing, and they're going to go ahead and do a little spraying and praying through the smoke as they also push through to confirm that last kill.
That was so huge.
Hello. Sliding right into the vision of Digizine is like cinema right now as he takes down a few more and a flawless for EG. So a good bonus round and a flawless. Coach is happy.
That was still so good by Superman, though.
Yes.
He knocks down the KO ult, but at the same time, that 3-2 split from KRU, you're trying to get Dante to go in the back of the smoke to try to get the backstab. And he goes for the 180 just to laser beam him. Woo. Another little flick out from the Superman, and he double push to take down Les. And I think that was a small mistake from Les, though, with that smoke. I think if he smokes so that you put the KO in there, Sadak could see if anybody's moving into that smoke, which would have given a better chance there for both the Neon and for Les to take him down.
Just that micro play in an instant.
But because on that bonus round for EG and a flawless round that they had, and KRU was not able to get a plant, not enough money to buy into this round. Full classics and just looking to 5-player hit for Planet to be.
Bow with the Phantom in heaven, ready to fire down on his trips. A little bit of a trap protocol there. I'm sure the shock darts and the dart will follow. There's the first of maybe many. Digizine's already there to answer. EG is able to squash down on these very quick. But wait, the pistols for KRU are able to find a few kills here. Bow, though, sniper in a tower. He could get the ace. Who's going to take this one from him? And no, it's not going to happen this time. Bow locks down the ace.
And he's happy about that one. First year now in the VCT. He's able to get an ace as well.
Man, I mean, he's the hype man for the team, and what a better way to create hype for Evil Geniuses.
Well, he hyped out the team. He hyped out the crowd here in the Riot Games arena. You heard the little button bow in there. Old school name before he just switches to just a bow name. Yeah, it's an Antaiko, but give it to him.
Hey, we're farming out here.
These are the type of wins you want, though. You see a team primed up like this for EG for a third map?
Let's go!
To try to get them into playoffs?
Yeah.
You definitely want that. That's cheering, just cheering basically with Superman and Pal looking at the coach cam. That is actually hilarious.
And that will now call the timeout from KRU's side as they want to shut down that bow momentum right away.
Not the same vibes, though, on that side.
No, it's not. But it'd be a little weird if we saw him dancing in his coach seat right now.
Yeah. You see now all the seriousness is also there for Coach Potter, but maybe not for Dan the Penguin.
No. A little crossed up are the KRU strats right now. And they need to figure out how to get by EG. Their Bao was really able to fizzle that out by himself. Like you said, low buy, but still confidence holding these sites with just a few members and backing each other up when necessary on the EG side. Puts them in a 3-round lead. And Digizine's topping that scoreboard for them. Another map.
This is what I want to start seeing here for KRU. They're going to start knifing towards that B side, but
Okay.
play knife and inserts. If nobody's being popped up there, insert less. Then you start finding your timings for him to get 1v1s. That allows for you to manipulate the map a little bit more, especially when it go down for the 1-3-1 setups in the mid round for KRU. So that allows for you, if you're moving up mid and Les finds his timing to maybe encroach, fight the B site, then you might have some very strong mid to B splits. Because the mid to A has always been denied here by Superman.
Yeah.
At least for now.
Getting into bend there has not worked out for KRU, where you see Pancake sitting with an Odin right now. He clears it with the drone and sees one. Sees actually a lot of them trying to find that out or that bend kill. So he says back up, anchor sights. Nice job by the IGL to have the mid-round call.
So there's that walk up, Elise on middle for Heat. But nobody really following up with him, so he will be the late lurk. As KRU, as they always had, less watching that line. Nobody was pushing towards that front B site. The camera spot's now 2.
Yeah, double confirmation. The TP seeing one. Trap seen by the Prowler. And the entry coming in does not look healthy from the side of KRU. A few getting taken out. What a paranoia timing! KRU's activation was spot on there when it looked like they might be disjointed. Pancakes with the Odin coming through. If he can fight the two in front of him, he may have a timing here, but he should be able to lock this one down. Yep, there's the kill. And KRU come out of the timeout successfully.
Felt that that was a Superman flash, though.
Oh, did he?
A little bit of a mistake there for AG and Anchor. I think so. There was a lot of switching going through here through the fights. There was a lot of chaos, which is why maybe those mistakes could have happened. Yeah, you see the paranoia comes in from the spawn. It just hits here, the Anchor inside that site.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thinking the fight around that bomb site might be closer.
So a small mistake. Even though there's good vibes, high pressure coming in here for EG and high morale, should I say, the pressure could still creep up onto the Evil Geniuses defense, allowing KRU now to put the second round up. The lower buy that they had now, Tour de Force for Heat. They'll try to play the same thing, right? You saw at the beginning, not only from this Tour de Force, but also from the knife inserting less into the B main. This is a true 1-3-1 with a spam through.
MW Zera's shots through these walls from Lotus to Summit now are really paying off for KRU.
I wonder if MW0 was just spraying that as he saw the drone on the top of the door and thinks somebody's going to follow behind that inside the smoke, so he gets lucky with it. Now that forces EG to potentially play a 2-2. Trusting Bao maybe to solo hold the A site as well, especially with that smoke.
Nightfall just dodged out here. Pancake's going to get razzled up a little bit by the Neon utility as he is hopscotching his way out, but gets taken down by Sadak. And now they rotate into sight quickly, and they have swarmed it, pushing forward for more, actually. KRU do not want to give EG space. Tough entry back in. Digizine just clearing some angles with the slide. A nice duck. And the upgrade to the Odin doesn't seem like the greatest one here. He tries to get another op shot on, but he's forced to create that lane. The opportunity now. MW Zera cleans up that tracer spray with the Vandal.
We'll have to look back at the replay potentially here how Zerona died on middle. But again, the true 1-3-1 setup from KRU. That was the first thing here that allowed that space to be taken on that side, because as you lose Zerona, that's less control onto middle from the Viper up-down walls. You're thin in the defense. You're trying to put Bao solo onto the A side. I think Superman was a little bit too late to rotate over onto B, because as soon as he went for the smoke and finally started rotating, MWZR popped out the Nightfall. And instantly, there was no way for the Anchor players on the site to really hold that line. They're deafened. You don't know where the Haunt's going, so the Haunt gets value off the ping.
clean for his shots through the wall. Just deadly. And they go away from leaving less over towards the left side, towards B. All 5 towards A.
Now we're finally seeing the way that you're playing a Cypher. Maybe for getting some reps playing against a KO ult, but this time around, it is KRU looking to take that orb control so that Sadat could pop the null command potentially here. Oh no, they're just going to go through.
Like you said, the team can work off the traps fully because of that positioning, and it is beautiful for the crossfire to start. Digizine going for another 4K on the map, and he's not even going to waste a moment. Gets on the line in position so the team can get him to even better spots themselves.
Yeah, just got to save this now, no choice. So we have a minute to talk about the plays. I got to say, though, the play still works out because, as you said, Riv, even if he threw a knife into the site on the exec, the trips are still active. Get true value out of that as well from the spray of Digizine, and they could still throw the same setup if they want to. Because right now, they don't really know where the position of Bao was at. Remember on a previous map here on Sunset, the knife hit both Bao and deactivated the trips over on the B site. So they still think here that Bao is going to stay on A with his util. Bao could still play this A-B line, anti-KO ult. And EG could still get value out of this.
30 seconds left.
Very smart stuff. And you kind of see how effective all of those EG plans are when it is put into place before it has to go into effect. It's kind of one of the subsets of things they wanted to work on, making sure everyone that rotated had the information while rotating, setting up the plays so they can execute that good. Another 4K for Digizine here as he picks that last one up.
Yeah, put out those numbers for sure. And now with that kill, the money's not the best now for KRU. I think there might be some hash shields here or there. Actually, Dante has the overdrive to work with.
Nice. Let's go, Douglas. Another 4K.
Do ace.
That's going to be them all game.
Yep.
They did it on Sunset twice now on this map. Okay, as we talk about not enough econ, at least they went half shields across the board for KRU so that Heat could still have the operator.
KRU go right back to that one setup for less. Nice peek. Actually getting the identification on the operator is huge for Sadat to start working around.
Yeah, and excuse me, they had plenty of money to go for full buys if they wanted to, but decide to still go for hash shields, maybe to be able to buy for the rest of this half. Should plat still continue.
That makes it even more expensive. I don't think they're going to be able to even pick that up if they do get the round. And it's going to be forced into A now. Wait, Pancakes is right in their face trying to guard the protection of his orb, and he does get 3! Shuts them all down immediately, and that null command fizzles out for KRU after waiting all this time to use it. Up to less. Pancakes, a sliver of health, does get taken down. But you expect these guys to be able to clean this one up. He's got to go for a big search around the site. He's got 30 seconds, so look for another kill here, but EG quickly shutting down another KRU strat will really help to build that momentum.
Oh, 23 seconds left. Can't move back to take the plant. He's trying to do some damage, but Bao, who's done the exact same setup as the previous round to play the anti-KO ulti, manages to pick up the last kill here. So it works out 2 rounds in a row for the same setup. And also on top of that, the value of Digizine with the operator.
You saw him do it as well on Lotus. Didn't get one shot towards A on the Raze, or towards mid on Raze. Went towards A stairs, got a kill. He's always trying to stay mobile with that op and make you guess where he is.
Douglas, you liar!
Not sure what he lied about. Definitely not his KDA though. Currently a 4-1 ratio, 16-4. A 1-3-1 setup, sprays, everybody's going down. Finally Dante is able to answer back, but to the cost here of both initiators.
Challenging each other on the wall drop, Vansili. Things are heating up in this game's Arona. A quick kill there. And KRU are just trying to repair this one, as EG seemingly have the answer to the rounds now following up.
Yeah, things are just falling apart for KRU in the macro that they have on their attack side. This time just being caught off guard. See the idea trying to still finish towards a mid to B setup. getting desperate here for KRU. A plant would still, I mean, if you look at it, always have shields. You could buy the next round.
Yeah. They are kind of forcing the point here. Eventually could get to them, but if they can keep chipping away at EG as well, put that economy into a spot. 3 rounds for KRU to do much of anything on this first half.
Still doable here.
Absolutely. Especially with the angles they have, it creates a quick 1v1. And the distance between that next player, no, never mind. What a shot. Trying to gap himself a little bit. He was right in a fight with Pancakes after that first kill, and the defuse comes through. 1 away for Pancakes after this defuse. Make sure we pick up the operator for Digizine, and we're good to go.
That's it. It was not the best of positions for Superman to play the Paranoia for them to flood retake, and there's no bodies available for the hat to be thrown from Bao, so that 2 versus 4 was definitely doable in terms of positioning. You see Dante's trying to find the timing, and Zerona peaks at the right moment.
Unlucky. Unlucky. Un poco unlucky.
And I think that's, as you mentioned, Riv, the barrier drop, 2 players instantly die. They don't expect here the verticality, the positions that EG are at the beginning of these rounds, and that's why I said it comes down to, do you think you've built the right meta right now, the right team, the right comp for a map like Summit that just came out in the stage 2? And maybe the lack of practice against different comps catches you off guard, and once again, you get caught off guard. No knife was thrown on that side.
No, and whose name is it that is on the top of the screen to start another round but Digizine with the operator? Continuously whittling away at KRU's chances to take that site with full force. And now they rely on Heat to look for that pick, to push forward. Dante to source the info first. It's becoming tough for KRU to take ground.
Prowler cleared the whole left side of the pit. So they do have an idea here. Look at that ping, exactly to where Zerona is currently at. Would expect potentially here a late hit. Take this controlled Nightfall, all of this. Maybe try to get into sight. But that trip over at the A-Link is going to be very annoying to deal with.
And then they're going to have to pass through the wall not once but twice if Zerona decides to put it up when called upon. Paranoia from Superman as they feel like things are getting a little touch and go. 30 seconds left in the round. A commitment, again, not there for KRU because they have Heat on the other side. But it looks like they're going to have to run in here, Vance. Nightfall and then a follow-up from the team unless they actually go all the way through the spawn of Evil Geniuses. You couldn't imagine that to be the case. They're going to still back out of this one. Oh my gosh. It's going to be heard by Superman trying to get into position. It's up to Heat now to get the first forward kill. But it looks like EG is actually going to allow it to happen. No, they peek it and didn't realize Heat was going to be on that line.
Ulti missed. So the plant is down. Nightfall available for KRU in the Pulse plant as well.
Incredible round from Sadak here. The Superman tries to pull back in the favor of Evil Geniuses. 3 for KRU, but it still looks very doable from their position in sight. MW Zera. Oh, he goes for the Nightfall right now as the Neural Theft comes out and gives up the entire team of KRU. Yeah, it's Zerona taking him down. What a nice lurk coming from the other side here. EG realize they have the numbers.
They
just have to put it together. It's all about the pace now. They get Dante. No, Dante comes up with a kill. Superman trades one. Now Dante's alone, and the shorty is never going to be enough against those numbers. Evil Geniuses, yes, will get the defuse with Zerona sticking it. 8 rounds now in the first half.
.22 on that one as well. They were so patient to fight towards the the B-Link rather. But thankfully, throwing the cage, getting the hat. Prime moment to get the Neural Theft for Bao in this round. Allows EG to convert and have a strong lead in this first half. And again, like I said, because KRU hasn't been throwing the early knife over on that B side.
Let's go!
Just to get the insert first. Digizine gets full value with the operator. And EG can't be any happier of the protocols and the macro, the position it's been currently set up on this map of Summit.
And it feels so good when you're an operator on the defensive side and they can't find a way to shut you down. Digizine keeps that just so effective for the side of EG. And KRU have to close the distance immediately. It's mid again. Like you keep saying, Vans, they pressure this area and try to make EG sweat right away. A dash into the site for Dante, and Bao actually still seems to be breathing easy. Hasn't been challenged just yet as he hears them running around. This is a weird game of cat and mouse, and Zerona's able to attack first. Bao still in position, still relaying info, and Evil Geniuses working a hell of a round here against KRU to possibly end that first half in their favor. Heat has a tall hill to climb here, as he's going to go ahead and head towards the other side of the map for a plant in a 1v3.
Bao has been studying some scuba here on this map.
That's crazy.
Using the cages, a trip to his favor, extra obstacle that he could utilize for anybody stepping onto a fortress of a B-side setup. I'm still scared. This is Heat, though, with
pulling out the op.
Yeah, I mean, last round now of the half, you have now Phantom and op. You can watch that at the long range. TP's also available. And the door has not been closed.
I think he takes a peek, sees if he can get the Phantom, answers with the Tour de Force. It's going to have to all happen faster than 3 members of Evil Geniuses can act.
EG's not closing the door.
Oh, I actually thought we might have seen that. Bao. Very close to squishing Heat. Cools that round down. And a 9-3 first half here for Evil Geniuses as they come out strong in map 3.
Yeah. Didn't get to squish Heat off the door, but they're definitely squishing through here in terms of their defensive setups. How many times so far has Zerona found these timings to backstab KRU? You're definitely seeing the lack of practice and comfort of the attack side of KRU on this map, but they could definitely answer back here on the defense.
Absolutely. KRU have to answer EG's dominance from this first half. We'll swap it when we get back from the break.
Yo creo que se diviertan jugando al Valorant, porque algo que yo vi mucho estando en el Tier 1, ¿no? Que hay muchas personas, no obviamente en mi entorno de mi equipo, pero como que hay muchos jugadores o algo así como que lo terminan tomando como un trabajo, que lo sigue siendo obviamente, pero hay que entender que también sigue siendo un videojuego, tipo aunque estés en Tier 1, en Tier 2 o en cualquier tier, sigue siendo un videojuego y hay que disfrutarlo como lo que es un videojuego y pasarlo bien con tus amigos, con tus compañeros, con tu equipo. Entonces esa para mí como la mayor lección, seguir divirtiéndose con el videojuego.
Welcome back to VCT Americas. We are into our second half now. KRU versus Evil Geniuses, and they need to find an answer on this one. EG has been collecting the pistol rounds and finding a way to run away with the game, so it has to be KRU from the get-go here.
Your heavy hitters got shut down in this third map so far in the camp of KRU. Less at 2 and 11. How many lurk kills, lurk opportunities did we see less on that first half? I could count on my fingers, probably 0. And then Dante also, how selfless he's been, was not able to slide, create space for the team to actually activate it behind them. So EG now at 9-3 and have been good in the pistol round so far in the last 2 maps. Another pistol round here could put them in a prime position to close out the series.
All right. EG got a good idea of exactly how Heat wants to play. I'm sure they already knew he'd peek every time he could, but they see it right off the wall drop. He's going to be using that rendezvous to get the upper hand for the team. And it's a look around round, if you will, for EG. Spike down as they just mill about for info.
Yep, it's a Blues Clues round. Smoke top door, break the door as well, so not allowing KRU to take too much pressure on middle. You see them already rotating out, forced to stack up on individual spots.
Ooh. Okay. Delivered. Zerona and Sadak answering for their teams. So it's up to Digizine to be the carrier on this one. He's got the sprint. He laces up and now tries to get back over to where EG's setting up the real protocol for a 2-2 NA.
I have the spike.
Les has no flash. He's playing TP and a Ghost.
Oh, the swing there. Got the timing, but Digizine's already into the site.
30 seconds left.
2v3. Sadak and Heat Collecting this round is the start that KRU needs here, but EG already positioned themselves perfectly to run away with the momentum in this second half. Sadak fragment to displace one. KRU don't have much time here because EG is going to do everything they can to keep delaying, keep hiding. Bao just standing out in the open for a quick shot to take Sadak's head off, and now they sit together. More than confident to lock this one in, and EG grabs second half pistol.
The cleanest of protocols in a piss round for EG on that 3 versus 2, because 2 bandits available for KRU is still dangerous.
Very disciplined.
But all of that play was drafted off a contact play from Bao, right out of this box.
Oh.
As soon as they swing out, that's where the other 2 will swing for their positions, and they try to trade as much as possible. The fact that he lands the first headshot there, sending so much love across the board for them. They're feeling here that they could definitely cross the finish line for EG to reach the playoffs as well.
EG at 10. Fans, if we look at our initiators of this game, Pancakes versus... Oh, almost did some damage too. Double door. Like the shock darts there to protect themselves as they go towards A. But yeah, Sadak versus Pancakes, you would never expect that to be the one where KRU falls behind. But the IGLing here from EG, fully online. And now they move towards A, walking in once again. Heat just trying to find a forward angle, but KRU, EG just route around this push KRU have and have an answer so far for the beginning of the round.
Thing is, it's a stinger buy though. KRU could go very quickly while EG are setting up.
That relies a lot on Dante getting in first, breaking some ankles here. Digizine may be the one. He's had the aim, he's had the spray, and he may get another one. Util out is the only thing Dante was going to get an advantage on, apparently. And now he's upgraded. He has to work wonders for the squad. They're always in this spot, and the wonder fizzles out there as Zerona bites down with the Bulldog. Les's paranoia gives him a moment to breathe, but Bao suffocates the rest of KRU. 11 rounds now for Evil Geniuses.
The group stage record for KRU starting to loom back, creep back up. Despite a strong performance from KRU in the play-ins, how this third map has been unraveling for KRU has been just, again, the nightmares that they've been facing into this second stage. 1 and 4 that they had in the finish in the group stages. Happy that they at least closed out with a victory in the last round, the last week of the stage. Potentially going on a run, but now potentially tripping at the finish line of playoffs. Door being closed once again by double trips. EG controlling the map. Another force buy for KRU.
He forced into these Vandal TP positions now to get the opening kill, and he's actually traded. It's not as fast. DG quickly move in. Dante's already in spawn. They're not even going to expect this. And wait, the Guardian from Superman clears 2, and Dante of all sliding in. Insane stuff from Evil Geniuses right now as qualification for playoffs is on the horizon.
Those are the best weapons taken out of the equation. Only 2 Spectres, 1 Spectre less alone. EG in different positions, untradeable, but just winning fights. Nothing but aura for each of these players so far. The backstab from Digizine on to Les, and EG now at map, series, and playoff points.
What a third map surge from a team with 3 players who maybe in tier 2 have been in the playoff such position, but never a pressure like this. To keep your season alive, to keep your run for playoffs ready, and a possible chance at champions on the line to stop the KRUvement right here. Evil Geniuses put us on map and series point. Over and over. Why not? It's conditioned from the last few rounds.
It's so funny because that was the first thing that probably came out when Summit came out. Everybody's going into the shop just trying to find lineups.
Look at my lineup.
And nobody says, nobody's going to do that pro play. Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? Well, you don't have to go against the Cypher for one thing and worry about those trips. So they just mess with the map before even being seen. Now towards the left side here, EG look to put the final touches on B against KRU.
KRU's just playing very scared now. All turtled up. Nobody's trying to find an aggressive line. This might just be a 5-man plow into what could be potentially a good stall from Sadak and less.
Screaming into the site. EG gained free space here, but Zerona gets taken down very quick, and I think that gives KRU a moment to just say, calm down. We do not need to rush this. Plenty of time, but it's going to be rushed by EG. When has that not been rushed here? A few more kills. Pancake gets another. Sadak's the last one left, and who else but Digizine to knock him down? The plan so dastardly from Evil Geniuses as they take down the Crewmen and lock in playoffs.
The vibes are up for Evil Geniuses. Treating every single one of these games like a do or die. This would have been the end of their season, but they come out strong on Summit and lock their place in the playoffs. For KRU, unfortunately, for the second year in a row, are going to be missing champs at the end of the year, where they've hit champs every single one of those years since 2021.
And to miss it with 2 champions on your team. A team that has the full potential to make it and faltered in the game 3. You look for a team that can continue to persevere and push forward. The Death said it. You mentioned it, Vans. The timeouts are huge. Potter there on the side, having such a pivotal role in resetting that Evil Geniuses live evil mental so they can always get back in it.